Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Pro Crastinators podcast. I'm back, and the fun is over! I'm the best guy ever. And also, we're joined by Give and Take. Hypocrite.
Hey guys, Jape is finished, and there's a fucking Kickstarter. We're going to talk about that later.
Oh,
Please
that's right.
pledge.
Of course.
Pledge.com. Go.
Was that not done when they last spoke, but like it was going to be listenable by them?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. But now it's out, and we've all read it. At least I have. I read the whole thing.
Of course.
Great shit. Ben Saint is here.
Woo! I fucked up last episode.
Yeah. How so?
Very embarrassingly, unlike Hippo, who's got his shit together, last episode I said, guys, when you hear this episode, there will be one of the Vaporettes from the first Vapors book will be published on the website, and I just forgot it was Friday and forgot to do it. But it's there now. And this and for real this time, when you hear this episode, there actually will be a second one. So there will be two by the time you listen to this one. At saintcomics.com /something, hit fucking whatever. Go to my Twitter, find the direct
fantastic.
link.
We got Munchie. Munchie's here.
Nate,
Yeah.
you're gonna have to answer some fucking questions.
I'm ready. Now or later?
Later.
Okay. And Digibro is here.
Soon. Your time will
Right.
come.
Hey, I'm awake at 1 p.m. on a Sunday. So,
Wow.
Imagine that.
what better thing could I possibly be doing?
You know, I've been sleeping a lot lately as a result of massive exhaustion from, Mia Maffava 2, which should be done by the time you hear this PCP, everyone. Yes, it's after the end of May, but you know what? 31 days, whatever. I'm doing my best.
Those were the questions.
Oh,
how
yeah.
could this possibly fucking happen?
Okay.
You had more time, did you not? I thought we talked about this on the show that you had more time.
I did have more time.
Wait,
That's correct.
are we talking about the Mia Maffava being late? Because there
Yes.
happens to be a very prominent X factor in this equation. There's
Drugs.
one major thing
Drug
that's
use.
different between
Cocaine.
Nate's life
okay.
2 years ago and Nate's life today. I wonder what could possibly be delaying Mia Maffava.
Are you saying that getting a girlfriend ruined Best Guy Ever?
I'm just
Wait.
saying that he drives her to and from work. So
That's it.
that is accurate.
Wait
That is
a minute.
Just ask Sesho to do
Wait
it.
a minute. Were you single a year ago?
Well,
No,
that was 2 years ago. Mia Maffava 2 was.
Okay.
I actually
yeah.
met Michelle as a direct consequence of Mia Maffava 1, as it would happen.
Okay,
it was,
that's right.
Oh,
that's
dude.
right. It
Yeah.
was 2
You
years ago.
either die a fan or live long enough to see yourself become the girlfriend.
You know, I am fully prepared to engage on this topic because I couldn't agree more that it's true. So I started at the beginning of this month. So here's the thing. I mean, I'm going to talk about this in like the final episode of Mia Maffava, but whatever. I don't mind. It's like I had more time because I hoped to be done with my job and have left it. But like because of the particular situation of my job, I'm sucking my own dick a little bit, but I'm kind of an important member of a particular team, and like if I'd gone, they would have been fucked. So they asked me to stay on it. Like normally you give them 2 weeks, I give them a month. They asked for 3 months, basically, is how it worked out. So I mean, and I was just like, you know what, these guys did me right. And frankly, if things don't go so great as a YouTuber, I'm gonna come crawling back. So I'm gonna, planting some seeds.
Sure, I get that.
So I'm working. They're paying me for halftime work, and I'm working more like 2/3 work. Is how it's shaked out. So yes, I have a couple more hours in the day to do stuff. So like I've got no excuse.
Wait.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Did you say you're working half as much and they're paying you 2/3 as much? Wait,
They're
what?
paying me half as much. Like my pay was slashed by half. However, the way it's shaken out, I'm
Wait.
actually working more than half.
That's
it's kind of
outrageous.
Wait. So they gave you a pay cut because you put in your resignation?
well because I'm working supposedly half time, which is how it's supposed to work
But
out.
then you end up working unpaid overtime?
I mean, that is what's happening, yes. Which is, I mean, I'm not thrilled about it, but the thing was already with my job already had
Classic capitalist exploitation, and another reason why we must secure the bag.
Fair. Well, you know what's interesting about my job? After years of, I don't know, I guess I'd call it high performance and then being happy, I actually got into a category where, like, I got a monetary bonus per quarter based on, like, an evaluation of my job. So, like, There was an incentive. If I did extra work and they were happy with me, I did get paid more. I mean, it's kind of funny to think, like, frankly, compared to my YouTube earnings as my side gig, it was like a drop in the bucket, which is, like a second career entirely. But, but it was extra money if I did better. So that was nice. Okay, but the point is, yes, I had a few extra hours to work. Not a ton, but some.
But that would balance out the Michelle driving, would it not?
The relationship factor.
Yeah.
To treat it as coldly, callously, robotically, heartlessly, demonically as possible.
Which you do every day in your life, so it's in no way out of character for you.
Correct. The fact of the matter is, a relationship does in fact take time and energy, and I'd be lying if I didn't kind of wistfully remember the kind of pure robotic, autistic dedication to being able to simply sit down, block out every other need and concern, and simply generate, video. And now I have at least one human relationship I cannot avoid,
I wish
investing
you could
time
see
into.
the fucking smile on my face. I'm so smug about this.
Inarguably, it is a nightmare, Nate.
Why? Indeed. Well, why did you? Why are you so smug?
Just because you gave everybody so much shit about having a girlfriend, and then you got
did.
one, and all the same things happened.
Nate, I just want to say, do you remember the days when, like, Digi would mention May, and you would vanguard, you would lead the charge of, like, listen to this, Tom bringing up your girlfriend
and
again.
then he brings up his girlfriend on, like, every PCP episode.
Nate. You're worse than Digi was about it then.
Well, hang on. Are we just ignoring the fact that, like, in this example, she is being purely brought up in a negative sense as, like, the detriment that she's
as long
causing?
as you're shitting on her, then it's okay.
Well, in this case,
surely
I brought
that's a
her
factor
up,
here.
so it's different.
Well, yeah,
but
there you go.
It's just, it's hilarious because I know that it doesn't matter. Like, there's no way for you to ever
I knew I was
have
accepting the devil's pact here, people, by getting into a relationship. I don't think it's hypocritical. I'm accepting the losses.
Yeah, that's what makes it so great. Is that I know
how the
that
tables have turned.
You will never feel like embarrassed or offended if I point these things out, because you're just going to be like, yeah, it's exactly true. I've become the beast that I was making fun of all this time. I'm just a bad man now.
Because I think the difference about
failed
me,
masculinity at its peak.
There are some aspects of life where I think other people reject this, but I just embrace being a bad person. For example, pirating video games and movies and software and music. Other people make arguments for why it's acceptable. I make no such argument. I accept the fact that I am a bad person for doing so. Now, and that's it.
Now, on the one hand, I respect that. Actually, no. On both hands, I respect that. Be a bad person.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I guess one should aspire to be a good person.
I'm completely with you. I have completely embraced that. I just, do what I want to do, and you can make value judgments about it. I'm not going to, I'll just be like, bad, good? What are these words? I'm just doing me.
It's an interesting, I don't know, not paradox isn't the right word, but when you get a girlfriend, you do have less time for work, and you spend that time with your girlfriend. But your time, I don't know if I should say it's better word. Right? It's better. Like, your life is better necessarily.
Yes.
Well, it's definitely, I feel like it's almost, I don't know, it is good to force yourself to experience pleasure. Because if it were up to us, we would just not do it. At least I wouldn't. Yeah. There have been multiple times very recently where if it were up to me, I would have just worked tirelessly and wanted to kill myself. So in a way, yes, work was delayed. And in fact, I was doing things that I could have finished. I was going to finish an Endless War update, and I haven't done it yet because I was with my girlfriend. But would I say the time has been misspent? No, because I had a great time, and I feel like I've improved my life.
This week, I've worked less because I've been spending time with my girlfriend, Munchie.
AKA me, yeah, exactly.
Hey, but on this front though, I do want to say that, like, obviously, I make all these are not jokes. These are real consequences of investing in a relationship. But I do think that it's a net positive, and I'm happy to be doing it and whatnot. So, I still
everything that could be said.
Wait, flash cut. to Michelle sitting on a beach somewhere, whatever fuck she does in her spare time with her
divorce papers in hand,
listening to this, and she goes, "Aw, he thinks I'm a net positive," and starts shredding the papers.
Everyone should think they're a net. No one's perfect. Everyone has negatives. That's the highest compliment I can give.
I'm saying she like puts her hand over her heart and says, "He says I'm a net positive."
Right. Okay. Okay. Well, good. But I did want to say though.
I just want to say that this doesn't exclusively apply to relationships in the sense of like romantically. I mean, this happens for friends. I mean, as Ben just said, it happens with me. I'm over here in Boston, so we're obviously hanging out more. So I'm sure the productivity has extremely just dropped off the face of the earth because I met him for like a combined like 10 hours total.
Absolutely. However, I would never claim that you are a net positive, Munchie.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay, hey, my final point. So I mean, look, I can hide behind the shield of like my job and Michelle and like girlfriend time and plus my dog also takes time though, so that's another factor. A dog also takes, you have to walk him and whatever, but the real thing is
you have to love him. Ugh.
I mean, yeah. The real unadulterated truth is that I have made many mistakes in this Wiagawa. I mean, in this Mia Maffava.
Like that mistake, for instance.
Yeah, like that one right there. I mean, just it has been more than anything just me getting sloppy and look, I was on track with Mia Maffava until day like 21 or 22. And it was at that point. So the thing that happened was there's two major things that caused me to fuck up. One was I accepted the thing that I had never accepted with Mia Maffava 1, and that was I accepted being able to go to sleep before posting a video the next morning. I said that this is something I'm going to allow myself to do. That was my first and biggest mistake. Doing that allowed me to get lazy and sloppy. I should not have done it. I should have just chugged coffee and got it done and then slept the 1 or 2 hours that were left. But the other thing beyond that is that because of this initial weakness I allowed myself, this mental weakness that crept into my mind, when I got like a copyright strike on my Point Break video, that got me a little bit upset and fucked up. I was like, no, my perfect like plan day isn't gonna work. And then the next day's plan was to release the Mia Maffava theme, which is ready to go. And the thing is, right now, it's sitting in copyright hell. It cannot go live on YouTube. And it's in the secondary stage of copyright fight where like I'll get a strike if I lose. And so the reality of that video, I prepared it. It has a little bit of fancy editing. It's got the song. I did a bunch of stuff. It's ready to go. And seeing that video just wasn't able to post, I was like, okay, well, there goes the video for today. And then as a result of like the next day or two, I was just kind of fucked up and like, well, I don't know what I'm going to, guess I'll just, yeah. It was, so this is all on me, 100%. I just let things get to me and got off schedule and whatnot. But it was that initial weakness. Because what I should have done is posted that video ahead of time.
I ain't gonna let it get to me. I'm still gonna creep. Down in Pumpkin Hill, I got to find my lost feet. I know that it's here. I sense it in my feet. I think
Great Emerald's power allows me to feel.
Yeah.
There's no excuse for me not being like, posted a video, it didn't go up, okay, I'll just make another video right now in the next like, I don't know, hour or so. That's what I should have done, and I didn't do it, and it's my fault. So I'm late, and that sucks, but I don't know. I'm also kind of wondering how upset I should be with myself.
Not at all, because nobody gives a shit.
Yeah, nobody gives a shit.
I'm more upset with myself. When I did the August video series, like, my takeaway was that I was mad at myself for taking it so seriously. That like,
really?
Because I got every single video out before midnight. And there was no point at which I had said I was going to do that, or when that was like in the promise. The promise was only really to my patrons. Nobody had really made bets on it. Like, there wasn't really much at stake. If I had made them late, or if I had, taken more time for myself, it was just like, I just imposed it on myself because I felt like I had to do something really crazy because I really needed money. And it did make me some money, but like I don't know, if money was the goal, it needed to be pitched better, it needed to be more planned out, and I came up with the idea for a very last minute, like literally like 8:00 p.m. on July 31st.
See, I did tons of planning, but I fumbled the execution, opposite of you.
Yeah. Well, if I am allowed to pull a Nate in hell ringing that bell, best guy ever, real quick, and play devil's advocate. I just want to say, isn't the whole point of BMF to be like, guys, or this one specifically, like, guys, it's really happening. I'm gonna be a professional YouTuber. You can expect this level of dedication to me, and I will deliver videos on time. And this is big glory, like hyping up me as an internet creator. Boy. And that you failed to deliver that. Would that not mean that it's like, oh well, he couldn't even do this like initial like hype promotional thing? Would that not be a failure?
Well,
there?
you know what? Now, okay, I would understand people making that criticism. I would argue that this Mia Mathova, if you watch the original pitch video, the thing is, I should have done this and mostly intended to do it, but I leaned a lot less on the idea of, like, getting one video out per day. Now, maybe that's a cop-out. Everyone fucking knows what it means. It's supposed to be one video per day. But, I don't know.
I don't think it's gonna matter. Dude,
long term, no one's gonna care. But a lot of people are already comparing it to me, a Mathova one.
I have reached a point in my career where I literally don't have any fucking idea like what's going through the heads of anyone who watches me anymore. Like, I don't really understand the mentality of people consuming my content, because like there's the people who talk to you, and that makes up such a small percentage. Like, even in my patron Discord, like, I have 1,000 patrons. There's maybe 30-40 people who talk in the Discord, so like I can talk to them and kind of act like, oh, I have a sense of what my fans care about, but not really. It's just those people who hang out in the Discord, and there's all these other patrons who I don't know what the hell they want or care about. I don't know how many of them are watching each different type of video. I try to make multiple channels, multiple styles, and like a lot of my videos aren't even getting pushed to my audience, or nobody's clicking on them. I've got way more subs than the amount of views I get on average. And I just keep asking, like, I've gotten to a point where I just poll my readers or listeners and stuff or whatever, and I just say, like, why didn't you watch this video? Like, I did that. I put out this hour-long Utena video, and I did it because that was like the most requested show I had gotten. Anytime I ask, like, hey, what anime would you like to see me cover the most? The one I get the most is Utena. So I made a video. It's got less than 20,000 views after a couple days.
Oh,
and, like,
God.
That's not too surprising because it's an hour long. It's about an old show that not that many people have seen. I just thought because the show has been more hyped over the years, more people, people specifically wanted me to talk about it.
Ben,
Lately I see
what
references
the fuck?
to it on Twitter.
He's mid-sentence. Ben, no, kill yourself.
Yeah, no.
What?
No, well, Ben's right. It is on Twitter. That's what I thought too. And again, like, it gets requested a lot, but I put out this video, it doesn't get that many views, so I put out a Twitter poll and I said, hey, have you watched my new Utena video yet? If not, why? And the options were, I haven't seen Utena, I don't care about Utena, it's too damn long, or I haven't gotten to it yet. And the majority was, I haven't seen Utena or don't care about it. Like, 60% was I haven't seen the show. So I'm like, okay, that's not necessarily surprising to me, because I know that not that many people have watched it. It's just so weird that is the overwhelming majority of what I get if I ask people what I should cover. But it just means most of my audience isn't answering.
You know, Digit, you're so right that this phenomenon of the vocal minority is so prevalent in, like, the YouTube comment sections and the kind of feedback we get when I don't know if it's cynical or anything, but the things to listen to really are the total viewership numbers you get, the like to dislike ratio, and of course, like, the amount of Patreon support one gets.
The thing about that is, and it gets weird though when the Patreon's mixed up in it, because sometimes you might make something that gets a shitload of views, but your patrons don't really care about it, or vice versa. I make tons of stuff that gets no views, but it's the patron's favorite. So, like, for me, ultimately, it just comes down to, don't fucking listen to anybody. Like, just do whatever I want and market it in a way that makes sense to me.
There's a gut instinct.
It's the only thing that's ever worked, and I know the data better than anybody else does. Because every time I open my mouth about anything, I get 1,000 people telling me their idea of what I can do to fix it, and always it's missing something. It's always like, like, that would be a good idea if not for this other element to it, and, like, you guys don't know all the data that I have, so, like, there's no victory here. I just got to do my own thing and try to figure it out,
Yeah, I feel quite anxious sometimes, like, whether or not to post my Patreon on certain things that I do, because the Patreon, I mean, it's changed like hands in a sense. Like it used to be for pony compilations or analysis or whatever. Now it was for hypocrite videos, but now I don't really shill it on things like my Redman comics or my Bale Jape or whatever, because it feels like I should make a separate Patreon for those things, because I know that if I post certain things on the Patreon, I mean, it's a monthly thing. I just need to like advertise it more, but like, it's kind of weird. It's kind of hard to like market yourself as, yes, this is me, and I do lots of different things, and if you like any one of them, pledge.
It sounds like how I heard the Asterios Patreon described, of it's just support this internet man doing internet things.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of how
I don't know whether
Patreon
that's like, I don't know whether for me specifically that's like quite, a good idea. Well, not a good idea, but like it's a hard sell, because the things I've done are not similar. Like comics and YouTube reviews are a little different.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on whether the audience is there for a specific piece of content or for the creator, and that's another place where it confuses me, because I always follow creators. Like if somebody makes something good, I follow that person because I expect them to be able to make other things that are good. It doesn't seem like most people really think that way. And I guess that's obvious, because like most people don't base what they watch on like knowing directors or knowing, staff members, but like that's entirely how I consume media. So like, to me, if I were to make like a separate channel that's about some other subject, like if any of you made a separate channel, I'm going to follow all of them, obviously. And it's not just because you're my friends, it's because I expect anything you make to be good. So like, it's a given. Yeah, I'm going to follow that other channel.
Subscribe to the Nyooz update for piece of shit tabloid news by a deceptive evil man, Johnny Nyooz.
And like, I've come to realize the only way you can get people to care about your other thing is you just have to like fucking shill it constantly. Like, I think YMS is the only person I've ever seen who like launched a secondary channel and built it up from nothing over like the period of like a year and a half with his gaming channel, because he advertised it at the end of every single video until it had Steam. And like, when I Am Games launched, I had advertised it as like I put it at the end of a couple videos. I had put it at the very beginning of one called What is Deep, which is a video I wrote just so I could put an I Am Games promo in it. I did a video announcing like my Tales of video on the main channel. And like at that point I was like, okay, surely I've done enough. Like, I've mentioned it a bunch of times. I started getting comments of people telling me to shut up about it. So I'm like, okay, this must be good enough. It didn't amount to that many subscribers. Like, it didn't push people to the channel. The videos still aren't getting a lot. And so the question becomes like, okay, well, is it that people aren't interested in the content, or is it that I haven't promoted it enough? So my latest video, I just did one on Metroid Prime. I posted it to I Am Games 13 hours ago, and on there it has 1.8 thousand views. I posted it to my main channel, opening with an advert for I Am Games 3 hours ago, and it has 5.3 thousand views. So clearly...
makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense because I have way more subs, but it's just like, why is there no follow-through? Like, why are people not... Like, why are they watching it and not saying, okay, now I want to go sub to I Am Games? I just don't understand the way people think.
I think it's like the thing my parents used to tell me about eating your greens. You have to put an unfamiliar food in front of a child who will not eat it like 1,000 times, or maybe not 1,000 times, but like 100 times before they will start to try it out of curiosity.
It's true.
Yeah,
like it needs to be an overwhelming amount, because like it needs to be something that they can expect to appear and that they will like brush off, like almost as like a routine. Like, oh yeah, they're talking about this. The end of the video, whatever.
You're fucking totally right. Like, I should not have let myself be like. Again, vocal minorities, and like, I'm somebody who falls for it really bad. Like, if somebody leaves a comment about something and I like in any way agree with it, I'll just do what it says. Like this Utena video, I did it as a YouTube premiere because somebody said, hey, you should do a premiere for like your next big analysis video. That might, help it to get more attention. And I was like, that sounds like a good idea.
Suggestion.
So I premiered it. premieres seemed to go fairly well. There's a chat. It was fun. But first of all, lots of negative comments about premieres. Like lots of people who are pissed off because they hate the premiere function.
I don't understand that.
People literally don't understand what a premiere is, and they just get confused by it.
It's so weird to me.
People
so
every time I
weird.
do a premiere, there's people in the chat like, "Oh, is this happening live?" Like they think it's live. Like
a lot of people were mad
that.
because they clicked on it and it wasn't the video. Like they don't notice it says premiere until they click on it, and then they get pissed off because they're not going to see it live, and it's just the feeling of having missed out on it causes them to not want to watch it at all. Like they get mad that they missed the premiere, and then they're like, "Fuck it."
So
but apparently, it also is really bad for you. Apparently, there's tons of YouTubers who have reported that it fucks up the launch of the video once it actually does launch, and it doesn't repost to people's sub boxes, and a bunch of people just completely miss it. Like the view counts always go to complete shit. People will do a premiere of a video, unlist it, re-upload it, and get better views from the second upload than they did from the initial one. So there's apparently it's just kind of fucking broken, and a bunch of people have talked about it, and I didn't know.
It seems that way because with the Quickdraw server channel where we post the art things that used to, the DrawCasters move over to that.
Hey, yeah, wait, hold on. Before you continue on with the story about it, I don't think people know that. People ask sometimes where's the DrawCast?
It's over there.
It only went somewhere. It didn't go anywhere. If you know what I'm trying to say, it's still happening under a new name, and it's on another channel, a separate channel called Quickdraw, and you can do it. And there are 3 episodes, soon to be 4.
You're gonna have to mention that on every episode of this show from now on.
That's
Yep.
true.
We've just
Guess
Link
so.
in the description to the Quickdraw.
Yep.
Go.
That's the problem with this is we all do a lot of stuff. So it's the thought of trying to bog down our show by literally just listing everything we're doing every single time. And yet
That's true, sister. You said it.
Hippo can post something about PUMK, and every single time he mentions it, there's somebody who's like, I've never heard of PUMK before, and it's
There's somebody who thought it was from Homestuck, thought it was a character from Homestuck.
I saw that comic. That was funny. Comment.
What a legend.
Anyway, what were you saying, Hippo, about the Quickdraw premieres?
Well, yeah, the Quickdraw premieres seem to have a very small view count compared to the amount of people who liked the DrawCast and are in the server even.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe it is just that people don't know on the PCP channel that it has moved. But I feel like if it wasn't a premiere, it may even be getting more views than it is.
Yeah, maybe, dog. I don't know. Might be worth trying.
The thing is that I just like the idea of a premiere, because I would certainly like to. I enjoy seeing premieres when I do. I like seeing oh, hey, there's gonna be a premiere in 2 days. I think I'm gonna catch that. That sounds like a fun time.
All right, maybe for you. I think,
but it's not good for channels. Sure, I'm not arguing that we personally should do it, or if the online space should do it. I just think I don't know why people don't appreciate it the same way I do. They're always confused. They don't know what the fuck's happening, and it just seems like, are you stupid? Are you literally dumb? Can you not?
A 2 day, like 2 days ahead of time is too long. A day on the life of the internet is like a month. They'll forget. And
I have an issue. Oh, sorry. Go on.
Well, it's like notifications, you can turn them on, but you have to turn them on, set reminder. I've never clicked that. I keep forgetting to click that, even when I want a reminder
even when you're constantly told to ring that bell.
I one of the annoying things I have is that you get notifications of premieres the same way that you get a new video, so it'll be pretty common that this doesn't really impact whether or not I want to watch it. I still want to watch the premiere or just the video eventually, but when I click on it and it takes me to, oh, this premieres in 2 days, I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ, why would you even show me this, YouTube? Just let me know when it's actually premiering and maybe I'll watch it then.
This is another place where I feel like an alien, because I get people who say I didn't even know you posted this video because I didn't get a notification for it. And I'm like, I don't use notifications anywhere on the internet ever.
Yeah.
Notifications are the devil to me.
I want to be that. I'm unsubscribing from a bunch of stuff because I'm realizing what a waste of time and energy it is. But I'm
subscribed to tons of channels, but I just go to my subscription page when I want to I want to watch YouTube. I go to YouTube and I watch videos. I can't imagine getting a notification and then dropping everything and watching a video.
That's what I do.
That's really what you do. That's insane.
I mean, to be fair, a lot of the things I subscribe to are ASMR people. So new ASMR, I can this is the new thing I can listen to and, not think about it while I'm listening to it.
What are you doing when you get the notification?
I'll be at work, like working, and then notification. Oh, let's take a few minutes and watch this, 10-minute video or something.
I guess
something
if you
like
can dick around at your job, then that's.
I mean, I can absolutely dick around at my job because I got my own office.
That's how boomer jobs work, dude. Boomer jobs, you can just fuck around like 80% of the time.
Yeah. It's a corporate job, and as long as you get your quota done, like by the end of the day, the thing is, I do end up staying late at my job because I have fucked around too much during like the normal 8 hours or whatever. So it bites you. It bites you at the end.
That feel when you're on Twitter and you find an artist who draws big ass titties and you go and check their workout, and it turns out half their shit is some fucking morbid obesity, big old paunch shit. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you on that.
You know what I'm fucking dealing with over here?
I couldn't fucking resonate with you less right now. That feel when you're on Twitter, you see an artist and they draw big old fucking titties, and you go to their art page and all they draw is big old titties, even when it's weird, even when it's strange. Like, dude, this ain't no big old titties art. This is just like a stick figure or something. That's crazy, dude. What are you doing?
I don't know what you're talking about. I literally don't understand what you're saying.
Hyper people hide in the shadows, and you think it might just be normal art, but it's actually hyper art.
That feel when you go on Twitter and you see a Twitter artist with the big old titties, but then most of what they put on Twitter is not art, and that's just talking, and I don't care. I don't want to read.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Hey, it's time for a call out. It's time for a call out against a Twitter I've been following for many years. MokuoBot. Mokuo is a Toho girl. She's the Chinese one. She's cool. And I was following them for a million years. Now, all of a sudden, I'm seeing people, this MokuoBot, this account that has only tweeted MokuoBot images, or Mokuo images by the specific artist for years. And all of a sudden, is engaged with debate. Okay, the path of progression was simply that this person suddenly tweeted, I think it was just 2 words, trans rights. Just
obliterate, canceled.
And look, I mean, that was fine, but but the next many tweets from this account were being angry at people who expressed, I mean, to my eyes, any kind of pushback that this account would tweet. A somewhat political statement. Obviously there's some nuance there.
That almost seems like a rite of passage. Like you walk up to the lion's den, you say trans rights, and you see if you can survive. You can see if you can fight them off.
I don't think any sane person would argue with the point of the tweet. I would, however, argue that this is really not what I signed up for when I pledged to the MokuoBot account. Why would you think, sir or madam, that I'm here for your political opinion? Or, sure, trans rights, that's great, but I'm here for the japery, the memery, and I would have unpledged to you a million years ago if there was going to be any of this kind of business. And it's not that I hate trans rights.
Well,
it's
not the one tweet that made you want to unsub. It's that it became like a long, protracted thing.
That's correct, Ben. That is correct. And you know what? The good news is I did not unpledge for MokuoBot, and they've gone back to tweeting Mokuo images, and I couldn't be happier. This is, I'm loving it.
Digi, I'm gonna need you to give me a news update, and if you say that you haven't followed this Twitter for years, I'm gonna start barking at you like a literal dog. So get ready for that. If you've just treated me in this way, is Nihilist Arby's still good?
Oh, I haven't read it in years.
That joke seems played out.
I found out. I found out today that you can't be fat and trans in New York.
What do you mean?
What?
They did a ban on trans fats.
LOL.
Yeah, that's what I call my label, fat.
Oh.
Like fats. I'm part of the fats community.
Nate, did you see these pictures of from Oda of Nami Age 40 and Nami Age 60?
Oh my god, that was from the new SBS, and no, I have not. Where are they? Where can I see them?
I saw those.
I will link them in the
Did
chat.
you guys
prepare to be disappointed because it's just her with a different haircut.
I'm not surprised.
There's no difference whatsoever.
Have you One Piece boys seen these fucking ramen commercials?
Oh, you bet your bottom dollar I have, dude.
I saw the Zoro one. Yeah.
I've only seen that one. Is there more? Is there more than that one?
Yeah, I think there's a handful.
Oh my God! Well, the Zoro one of like, I've studied that many times. So there's a Cup Noodle commercial featuring Zoro as like a high school boy in like One Piece high school, and he's in like the kendo club, and he got beat by Mihawk, blah blah blah, and he's
it's like
around.
It's like Zoro's story condensed into like 30 seconds, but if he was a high school kendo club member instead of a fucking want to be the greatest swordsman on the high seas,
and it's a ramen ad.
At the end, Luffy just shows up and it just has ramen, which is relevant somehow.
Well, this studio was already making like weird anime ramen ads like this, which were usually just like short romantic stories that are just they're just these beautifully animated 30-second romance stories that then have like a ramen cup at the end.
By Nissan. Yeah, at the very end.
It's Japanese media. Have you guys ever seen Lost in Translation with Bill Murray and Scarlett Johansson?
I don't think I have.
I was just watching it the other day, and obviously it's not real life, but it is fascinating. I don't know. I'm thinking about Japan a lot these days. I love Japan. You might say I love it, period. But
the tea ceremonies.
You know it, dog. The way that they do commercials.
J-Rock!
Gilgamesh!
Smile DK.
Yeah, thanks.
I say that too much in I forgot the dog was there.
We gotta do it.
Oh, I forgot the dog in the,
the Japanese dog.
Oh, because all Japanese dogs...
We gotta go back and remake it for 2019. We have to put like our faces coming in and saying
trans rights.
What else?
Trans fat.
Puppers. Just multiple names for dogs. Just dogs.
Someone opens their mouth and you just hear the sound da-da-da-da come out of their mouth.
No, you need a guy
as their eye lights up blue.
I want Munchie to be in like the very back of the shot at like the far end of the restaurant in the jester outfit, screaming "Sir!"
Oh, dude, Radcon 4, we should do that. That's the only thing we should do at Radcon 4. We should do nothing else but that.
And you know what? I bet that Oscar voice actor lady doesn't have a lot going on. And you know who else's career got canceled? My boy Vic Mignogna. So he's going to need a gig. We could probably get him to do the voiceover.
I can go on the Dick Show and I can get Nick Rakita to put me in contact with Vic, and then he can do the voice.
Have I told you guys that when I was in college, I knew a girl who... She was as I recall, she was a relatively attractive, like cosplay kind of girl who claimed to have a personal relationship with Vic Mignogna. And I'm just saying it plays into, I don't even know if I believe or disbelieve any of the accusations. I'm just saying that if I had to guess if this woman was at the very least aspiring to fuck Mignogna, I would say 100% she was attempting to do so. Whether or not that was reciprocated, I have no idea, but they did know each other, at least a little bit. So I don't know. This isn't even a criticism of anyone.
You should ask her if she took that dick, if you still know her.
I wish I could remember her name, but
the Vic Dick.
The
Vic Dick. Yeah.
The Vic Dick. Yeah.
Hey,
yeah.
Okay.
It's going around lately.
I want to talk now about Bale Jape.
Okay.
And it's a webcomic that I made.
When will Bale Jape get canceled?
Too late. It's already finished. It can't get canceled. So what do you guys think? What do you think of my comic I made?
You saw the fan art that I did. I mean,
I did. That was great.
Did we talk about this last episode?
No, it was not real yet. It was not real yet.
It wasn't finished at the time.
Yeah, I'm very annoyed because the way that Twitter cropped it, you couldn't see PUMK, and PUMK is the big money maker for. It's like a sort of. It's sort of like a. I don't know what you call it when you do like a promo image. It's like
show note link Oblivion. Get that link, slave. Okay,
it's like all the characters sort of like displayed out in like kind of a symmetrical way with like the hero
like
in
an
the front,
Avengers poster,
supporting characters behind.
Yeah, it's a poster.
The villain floating in the background. Snakes all, the classic trope of snakes all around the border.
I have a lot to say about Jailbait because before the finale was released, just going back like maybe a month ago, I had not read a single page of that comic, but I had the honor of doing one small part of the Jailbait animation, and I saw to myself, well,
Jape, you clod.
As I said on RFCK a couple days ago, I will literally never say Bale Jape ever.
You just did.
Okay.
Oh, well, okay, whatever.
Clip that, ladies and gents.
Anyway, so I went back and read it, and I have a lot to say about Jape because I absolutely love the comic, and I have a lot of it's really interesting to me in a lot of ways because of its basically I'm sure you would admit that a lot of it is rushed artwork in the sense that you didn't spend like a fucking a year or two on each panel, and this just plays right into what I've been saying for a while now, that art does not have to be good, and in fact it was probably in most scenarios actually to its detriment to try and make each panel individually perfect.
I think in every scenario it's to its detriment.
Yeah, I would agree. So stuff like you can clearly tell in Jape, mini panels where it's okay, obviously cutting.
Well, hang on, Munchie. Can we reduce that rule to something that's to put in more effort in something than the bare minimum to get the ideas, the essential ideas across? Could just be a waste of time. And okay.
Yes.
Cool.
There's very many panels where you can clearly tell that you cut corners in many ways, and that did not impact the moment to moment of it at all, because there are legitimately pages upon pages of Jape that I would consider Homestuck level of memorabilia. I often regard the many tiki poses, specifically that one page where it's completely red, the lava has just broken down into an underground tunnel, and a cannonball has broken the roof of said underground tunnel. Lava's flying and Tiki is just standing there posing. It is absolutely incredible. And I think about that and many other pages constantly. And even though if you really take a fucking measuring glass and look at each individual line, you can say, this was made in 3 seconds. Literally does not matter. One fucking molecule. It is, and again, this goes out from the art. The story, there basically is no actual story. Things just happen one after another. But your passion for just the character designs, basically, and what little character they do have, shines through. And especially in this lovingly crafted animation that you made, it is just the pure energy in this project, regardless of the quote-unquote lowercase q quality of it. That doesn't matter at all. What matters is that this was a new thing that you had done. This was, you had done Can Story before, but let's face it, Jape basically outclasses it in every single way. I mean, Can Story doesn't even hold a candle.
Call it Bail Jape, for fuck's sake.
Never. I never will.
Well, whatever. Fuck you then.
Get the idea.
You get the idea, exactly. It just is so refreshing in so many different ways, that comic. And I'm so happy that you were able to finish it in such a spectacular way. And I encourage every single person to go and read that comic, because it is the best thing that any member has done in maybe a year. Any member of the PCP has done.
Just for fun, what do you think was the last good thing that was as good that any of us have done before Bail Jape? Anyone. This goes to anybody. I'm trying to think myself.
The timeline is hard in my mind. It's fuzzy in my mind.
It really depends who you ask.
True.
We're asking all. Okay, this
Me
is
and
great.
Math of a 1, maybe?
Okay.
No.
Me and Math of a 1 was good.
I don't.
I think the timeline is fuzzy. The timeline's fuzzy, so there's probably something else that I just thinking.
Are we not allowed to pick our own shit?
No, you can pick your own shit.
No,
Why not? Go for it.
I mean, Champion Chapter 1 ended, and then the game came out after.
Okay, that's a good one.
No,
that was in late. That was early, the first half of 2018.
Okay, no, then okay, sure.
That's probably what I would go for. I think.
Are we saying that? Are we trying to think of something that's as impressive as Jailbait?
No, just new or refreshing in any way. That's just not the same old shit. That's something that's
PCP production canon.
Oh wait, Azumi. The Azumi demo was recent.
You know what? Yeah, okay.
Azumi
that
game,
one.
I was going to say the Davoo's game as well.
Yes.
Oh, Davoo's game.
Autonomous.
That might be it.
Endless
when did
War.
That come out?
Personally, I would count my albums in there, but none of y'all listen to that shit. So
yeah, sorry, dude. I just don't listen to them.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Maybe if I did, I'd love them. But I just haven't.
Sorry, I don't like Digibro. I don't like singers. Digi's too black sounding for me. Well, to each his own.
Okay, so zoom again.
That's a line, guys. He's not racist. Please.
Not racist. It's a quote. It's a quote.
I mean, this doesn't have to turn into a dick measuring contest. I'm just trying to say, Hippo, I'm really proud of you, and you're really recapturing a flame that I feel has been slightly extinguished, and I'm really happy that you are doing something so interesting and unique again. And
I think
thank you very much.
It might. Well, yes. I don't mean to cut you off there.
I really appreciate all those words, and I agree that, like, initially, it was just, let's just fuck around and draw some stuff and see what happens. And, like, the first 100 or so pages was like, let's make it up as I go. And now that I have some things, I started progressively to decide, okay, well, why is that a thing? And then I, thought of where they are and what they're doing. And then I tried my very best to incorporate everything that was brought up randomly into the finale or the end, or like, so everything got wrapped up. My brother did notice that there was that one thing that when Tiki smashed the bottle in her face and then like had the broken bottle, she put it in her inventory. That didn't come back. So 0 out of 10 for that.
Yeah, true.
But everything else, including the table of potions.
Well, it's a red herring, dude. It's a red herring.
It's actually 10 out of 10. Excuse me.
I mean, sorry, go on.
when I saw that the finale was a video, I was expecting something like the Endless War S Descend, which you also made, which was.
Did you not know it was going to be a real animation?
I didn't know. S
crazy.
S Descend is great, but I can tell that it was made in a time efficient manner. Like it's mostly stills with video. I mean, there is some animation in there,
which I mean. This sort of goes back to, like, that was good enough, and that was a great, incredible moment.
Good enough, and so that's why I was like, why would you do more than this?
Because
and then I saw that it's like
outstanding.
Well, yeah, and then I saw that it's like
he's a Stratogoid genii.
I saw that it was like fully animated. I was like, oh my god.
It took a very long time, but that if there's anything I can say, is that I learned how to do the pre-production on that so that it happened in an efficient manner from going to uni. That's my story.
No, don't go to college, please. Anything but that. Don't
go to college. But
if
you do accidentally go to college, if you do accidentally find yourself with a degree, you may as well have remembered some of the things you learned.
And you may find yourself with an animation degree.
This is not my beautiful dorm. This is not my beautiful student loan debt.
There was a PCP release somewhere time around. You released the Bugs Life YouTube hypocrite review. Where I believe I mentioned, like, Hippo, video games review, are they cool? I like video games, but your animations were so cool, and you were like, yeah. And then you said, yeah, but in the future, which is now, and you had released one moments ago. And it's really cool. It's really cool that you're doing it again. It's really cool that you're doing animations and the things that are unique to you, as opposed to being another cog in the fucking machine, another brick in the fucking wall.
I think it's only fair we give Munchie, I'm going to get around 100% credit for Gib making this animation.
Oh, yeah. That's definitely what I meant by suggesting that you do animations again. Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah.
That's good.
I do want to make one point about, like, the whole, it doesn't need to be good, because combined with, I think it was, like, way back when I was doing the Drawing Your Waifu as If It Was Vriska video series, where I drew, I copied an image and then gave her, like, Vriska horns. And then Munchie and Ben shadow me mercilessly about how that's not... Yeah, both of you, I remember.
Wait, for what?
Drawing Your Waifu as If It Was Vriska. Because, like, I was doing it with the idea of, like, it wasn't tracing, it was copying. It was close by, it's in my peripheral. But, you were saying, that's not going to get you better at drawing. And I was like, they're right.
Yeah.
It is true.
But from that point, I think, like, a thing in my brain changed, a little thing where it was like.
So I do get 100% credit. Well, I guess
you
do.
You do. Both of you, 200% between the two of you.
Yes. High five, Ben.
High five. High hoof, bro.
But, like, it was
high hoof strawberry.
The idea of I've been okay at drawing for a long time, but it doesn't seem like I'm getting that much better, and I want to be really good in order to do certain things, but it's. Time's ticking, and I'm not, like, suddenly better yet, even though I'm drawing a little bit more than I was.
Yep.
Why don't I just work within my means? Why don't I just, like, make something with the power that I have currently, and then that will be my practice for the next thing I make.
That's
and
it.
then
That's
just
what I've
go
been saying.
forwards.
That's all you can
Yeah.
do. That's what Vapors 1 was for me. I was like, I can kind of draw. I'll just do a comic as best I can, and that'll be my practice for number 2.
I think we can all agree. I think we can all agree that this concept of sitting around and waiting for the perfect time to do whatever to hone your skins, it's all a bunch of bullshit.
This is what
Start
I mean. Like,
immediately making a project.
I don't
Learn
believe
as
in
you go.
practice. Unless there's like a highly specific thing that you really want to get like exactly down.
Look, I'm gonna go be a tightrope walker today, and fuck practice. I don't need a net. I'm just going out there on my unicycle, and I'm gonna win it.
I understand.
Because I believe in myself.
I'm speaking about this from, like, I've spoken about this many times before, so I don't feel like I need to do the whole preamble that I always do. But I'm not anti-practice or anything, and I'm not anti-things being good, obviously. Like, when I say it doesn't have to be good to be good, I don't mean that it doesn't have to be I'm saying it doesn't have to be of technical prowess. It does not have to be, like, you know, none of Jape is, like, technically impressive.
What even is
the animation,
technically
I would say,
impressive is such a weird idea in the first place, because it's like something that has to be determined by like academic consensus. Like it's like a bunch of people are specifically trying to boil down what they're going to consider to be technically proficient, and nobody else cares. And I think there was a time where I think this is basically the difference between like modernism and postmodernism, is the idea of like, yeah, okay, but like you guys can come up with a bunch of logic for why that is what you're going to call good, but we can come up with a bunch of logic for why anything could be called good. Like when it comes down to it, what matters is the effect it has, and like individual people are going to make their own determinations about whether it's good or not anyways. They're not going to listen to what is considered to be good or bad.
I think what matters when judging,
why are we worried about it?
When you judge something's quality is what the idea is. If you think it's a good idea in whatever way you may categorize that, and if it's communicated effectively. So going back to those Tiki pages, what is the idea? Tiki looks cool. Is that a good idea? Yes, Tiki's my wife. Is it executed effectively? Yes, she looks cool. Done. That's all that panel needed to be, and you pulled it off spectacularly. You did not need to make, I don't know, you didn't have to make Tiki atomically correct, or make the line width, or even just, going away from technical prowess, just making the line width absolutely perfect on that one page. That would not have made the idea communicated any better. It did not.
You know what would have really improved jail Bape though? If you didn't connect your lines, if you used that super secret technique of not connecting your lines.
I had to connect my lines, because then how could I do the fill-in bucket?
Well, wait, Hippo, I think you're really missing an opportunity to get your content for your patrons. I think that you would get way more money if you just didn't release the Jailbape animation for 3 years, and then just had it be patron only.
Thanks, man.
That method works for some people. Hey, I have all these points. Oh, sorry, Gabe. Yeah, if you want to.
One thing that I made a. I also have a plush which is being kickstarted currently.
Yep.
Of PUMK, and that's cool. It's.
Do you want to talk about how the Kickstarter's going?
I got like a fifth of the way there already, so that's pretty good.
Okay. And it's running for a month, right?
Running for a month. Likely it will get like kind of close. But might not actually go over. But that's not what I want to talk about right now. I just want to highlight one comment from that video where I announced it. Sure. From Pan Limac, who says, sorry to say this, but the art isn't nice. The comic looks ugly. The game looks ugly. The animation looks ugly. And the plushie looks rather ugly.
Lol.
The thing about stories with good, funny writing is that bad art doesn't make them better. I mean, it's bad after all. It feels weird when you show up on YouTube suddenly just to throw an ad. Good luck, I guess.
What a fucking...
This was your post on Hypocrite.
I kind of... It's very dismissive of the thing, but I kind of like him because he didn't say fuck you. He just said I don't like it.
True.
No, he said it was bad.
That's nice.
There's kind of a difference.
I mean, when people say something's bad, they mean they don't like it. Nobody really knows how to say that.
I agree, Hippo. That is what it means. And I kind of want to... Okay. Remember that Leprechaun video I did where I said that, like, saying something is bad is just to say that you don't like it? Yeah, someone... Yeah. Oh, God, I should dig up this tweet. Like, after that video, someone tweeted at me, and he was like, this is a like particular value theory in philosophy that has been disproven.
Lol.
And then he linked me to well, hold on. Well, he linked me. He cited a source, and I went and I tried to read it, and I could tell that there was like more literature on the subject. And this is something I've been thinking about ever since. And I crave to make a video where I like an actual like philosophical argument where I go into that like value theory of judgment, and I try and I like argue in favor of my theory, and I try and like rebut, because apparently this is like a thing. This is like a thing that has been like literature has been written about, or like philosophical theory has been written about. And this is something that I'm interested in arguing in, and I just haven't dived into it yet.
Hang on, is this about the general principle of artistic merit, or is there a specific type of...
this is about, like, what is a value judgment purely subjective? Or, is saying something is bad identical in structure to saying I don't like it, or is there a distinction, is there a linguistic distinction between those two things?
I mean, and this comment was saying that link has been disproven.
I mean...
Well, this tweet said that, like, your theory of value has been philosophically disproven.
Okay.
Regardless of that, I don't think every person is going to use bad or like I don't like it in the same way.
No,
as
I mean,
like
I think
some people are going to think
people
about that, and most people are not.
When they say it's bad, they mean they think it's objectively bad. Like I think that's a very common belief.
Well, I think they mean that, but I think they might fail to mean that, even if they intend to.
I agree, but that's like death of the authoring these people's comment. Like this guy,
which I think is totally legit.
It is. No, I agree with you that what this guy is saying is I don't like it, but because his intent was to say that it was objectively bad, I think he's a piece of shit asshole.
Maybe.
I suppose.
Yeah, okay.
But it depends on what you want to do with that.
It just I don't, because I have like kind of a small audience, and the people who I was showing Jape to as it was being made, it wasn't like that many people, obviously, since people on my Hypocrite channel have no idea about anything I do, really.
You know what?
And
sorry.
Well, yeah.
Well, it was
Duh.
I forgot my train of thought. Something about the comment being mean. Oh no, yeah. It reminded me that, people will see Jape. They will see the way it's drawn, the fact that it's like kind of, low resolution, like pixelated, not super clean, doesn't look like a
funny way to put it, but it is factually accurate.
Well, it's better than pixelated as a term, because everything's pixels. But
true.
People will see that and they will think, this isn't a good quality image. This guy doesn't know how to draw, really, and they will dismiss it offhand. This is like most people. I think
is like
would see this.
People who say like Kill La Kill is badly animated, or like people who say
but Kill La Kill has can get people's attention. I feel like Jape was like more well received in the small community, but on a larger scale may not appeal to that many people. But I still feel proud about like the writing I've got, like the quality of the writing, the things I've learned. I mean, if you look at the first few panels and then the last few panels, you can tell I've become at least a lot more confident in drawing like more difficult poses and things.
I was gonna say, I feel like you improve, like reading it through in one go. You can tell that you improved a lot over the course of it. Done that. I just want to say that like the fact that people are seeing it and making negative comments means that people who aren't already into it are seeing it. So like even though that comment sucks,
good,
like it's symptomatic of the fact that new people are seeing it, which is good.
Yeah,
and when more people see a thing, obviously they're not all going to be into it.
Yeah.
Hey, all this is fine discussion and criticism, but really it's all pointless bullshit, because I have a substantive lore point to make about Jape, and it's the only point that matters. And I actually already talked to Gib about this, but I just want to express a sentiment I had, because unlike you meta commentary dumbass pieces of shit, I actually care about the actual characters and have concern for their well-being. And this is what it is. It's that at the end of Jape, I guess I won't specifically spoil it, but Jape takes place on a sea of lava, and as we have not seen anything outside of this one island, which is in...
We do see other islands in the distance.
Do we? Really? I don't remember that.
In some of the wide shots, you can see that there are other things, like way off in the distance in the sea.
Is that...
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a few little pixels of black in the very horizon and a few things.
I must have missed those. Okay, well, okay. Nonetheless, as a dumbass piece of shit idiot reader who missed many of these important details, I would like to make the
really
point.
cared about the substance of the
That's
comic.
right. That's me. I represent the common man. At the very end of the series, I felt, so seeing our heroes, win and go off and drift off in the sea of lava, I felt a deep, profound anxiety because I was like, I see these guys on a world of lava with no indication of civilization or potential safety, and I don't know how long this orb of splish is gonna last. I don't know what their ultimate destination is.
The Jewel of Splish is eternal.
Well, okay,
or
we can nice headcanon, bro. Cool headcanon. But I'm out here.
Takes a hit of my jewel. Splish flavor.
All I'm saying is, if I was begging Gib to make an epilogue or something where we see them this would have been addressed if just on the in like the last panel we see them drifting off and maybe there's like the silhouette of like a city looming in the distance or like something like just a hopeful element, but there was none. And the fact that I missed these islands in the distance, okay, I've already missed some stuff because there is hope because one of those you could theoretically go to and live.
Please go back and just add a black panel and then in show card Gothic just write "and they lived happily ever after" so I can rest easy at night.
I mean, that's a bullshit way to do it. I want a more artistic way to do it. A more,
Yeah.
But yes.
No, I get it.
Well, obviously the more artistic way flew over your head.
I want him to artistically do what I want him to do to his story.
They had many grand adventures in the 100-acre wood.
As the person who cares most about these characters, more than their creator, more than anyone in the world, I am scared and pissing my pants currently, worried about them. And I want them to be safe and happy, and please, sir, help them.
Okay, I can
tell
you that.
Scholar.
First of all, you need to make like an analysis video, theorizing, and then I can say all your theories are stupid, and they'll reach an island.
So Hippo
something.
can comment, "Lol, I didn't think about any of this. It was
but
all
then
just
all
bullshit,
I do,
bro."
I just comment "Death of the author" in all caps like 100 times and say "fuck you, Death of the author."
And then
fuck
start
you,
your
Death of the
500-page Bale Jape fan fiction.
Yeah,
that becomes
correct.
more popular than the original. Everyone's like, "Oh yeah, Nate Saint, the Bale Jape guy, cool."
The Bale Jape theorist, like a Game of Thrones guy,
exactly,
like analyzing.
You
the
don't
text.
talk about how pretty jail Bape is, but it doesn't just live up to like the narrative stronghold, just ironclad 1,000 times folded script that is canon story. I mean, come on, it may look more visually impressive, but come on, like the real meat and potatoes narratively is in canon story.
No Chekhov gun remains unfired in canon story.
Yeah, literally.
By the way,
we can all agree that Pocket Boys is the real winner.
Oh yeah.
Indeed. And by the way, another moment I just really loved was like at the end when the shit's going down.
These aren't spoilers.
Okay, you know what?
Spoilers?
I guess I won't say it, but okay, I will say that the payoff of the flamingo narrative I very much enjoyed, and I mean that I kind of felt one of those like oh my god moments like you'd get in like a real story. Like imagine that. And it felt great.
We can all agree that the real Hippo winner is all those fucking Terezi Vriska porns I see on Rule 34 Paheel that I have to scroll past whenever I search Homestuck. I always see them and it makes me feel uncomfortable. Who uploaded those and why?
There was one moment when I was very surprised.
That's real life, by the way.
There was one moment where I was like, oh my god, that happened. But then I thought about it, I was like, oh wait, that makes perfect sense. And I don't want to say what it is because it's a big spoiler. But I'll just say that did happen.
Type it in chat and I'll react accordingly.
I've got one too. I'm also going to type it in this audio podcast and totally ruin it.
Oh yeah, that was a stroke of genius, that one.
I was like, what? Wait a minute. Actually, in hindsight, of course that would happen.
God, I'm so smart.
I've got one too. Please comment on this. That was a thing that happened. And
yeah. Go read Bale Jape right now. Link in the description. Link on stream. There's 100 links on screen. OblivionFall You better put 100 links on screen.
Like literally 100, or else you're fired.
Why did these people deserve to live as opposed to all the other people? It's not fair. It's not just.
Wait, we pay him.
But okay.
You do have to do it.
There's no justice in this world.
That's true.
In this lava world. Hey,
Digi.
Yeah.
Did you read it? Have you read it yet?
I've only read as much as was out like a month after it started. Because I decided I would wait for it to be over, and now it's over. So now I have to read it.
Please
I read it.
Give it
I
a
read
good
the whole
long,
thing in about an hour and a half.
Dude, make an hour analysis video and then release it as a premiere.
Why don't you make a 12-part analysis, you piece of shit?
Fuck you.
Maybe I just fucking will.
Do a thoroughly analyzing My Little Pumpkin.
Hey, every pumpkin.
I want my pumpkin.
Hey, let me tell you about something. That makes me mad.
Ben's here. Oh God.
This is my new crusade that I've started to take up and get legitimately. All right,
more people on Twitter who are stupid, guys.
Look at this. Look at this image. Look at this image.
Look at this tweet.
And look at this image and tell me that. God. And you would look at this and say, "No thanks. I prefer a more well-proportioned woman. Get fucked. You're a pervert. You're a sick pervert.
Hang on.
You don't like these big ass titties. That's what I'm fucking mad about."
Are you
okay?
Are you saying that you're a big fan of these titties?
Yes, of course I am. This is great.
This is disgusting.
This is really
disgusting. This is what I'm here for. This is the shit.
No,
this is the
it looks
shit.
Like some Shadman shit.
I mean,
that is not some fucking Shadman
I'm so
shit.
surprised and happy that we are brothers on this issue. I would have never guessed, but I'm really happy.
You're all perverts.
In regards,
OblivionFall,
I am not a fan of gigantic
way
cow
off in the
kids.
comments.
Yeah.
And all you sick fucks in the comments who are like, "Ooh, no thanks," undeserving of life is what you are.
In regards to this specific example that you've posted, I find that Betty Boop has a more attractive body type than.
Betty Boop is looking great here. Betty Boop is looking great here, but Jessica Rabbit is what I am about.
Ben, you're
what I'm about.
I'm surprised.
When did this happen?
Very surprised you say that.
I didn't know. When did this revelation
This is the thing.
come?
This is the truth. This is the dark truth. This is the dark, shameful truth. That I like big old titties.
You know what? I stand with Ben. on this one.
Yeah, you would.
But Hippo, you are a nightmare. Hippo, you literally remind me of like a tractor going inside my urethra. Like you are the worst thing that could happen.
When Hippo likes them, it's very problematic.
Which is why your Vriska Trezzy images on a Rule 3-4 patio always get my fucking goat.
Well, I don't draw anything.
Anyway, guys. Speaking of comics and Hippo,
I literally don't care. Don't worry about it.
I want to fight about this. Okay, I want to fucking fight.
What even is there to fight about?
Retarded.
My opinion, and tell me it's the correct one.
I wouldn't really criticize anyone for being into it, but I would also have no problem with someone saying that they don't like it, which sounds like what the argument is. So really, I have no comment to make.
I just can't wrap my head around it. I can't do it. It doesn't make any sense.
It looks unnatural and strange. This
is one of those things. This is one of those things where I can't respect a conflicting opinion. I can't do it.
You mean like every other opinion and thing that people have, like all the rest, you can't respect it?
That's right.
Okay.
Yes. In other words, this is just like everything else, I believe.
Things that look unnatural and strange is like part of the reason why you would draw it rather than photograph it in the first place.
If Shadman drew these, they would be big and like spherical, and that would be horrible. But in that first drawing of it, like they've got heft to them, like they look like they're made of flesh.
No,
they're not.
They're fucking
just
gross, dude.
You're fucking gross.
No,
it's 10 out of 10.
I wouldn't use the word gross.
Hey, 10.
I'll allow it. Fine.
Okay, good, great.
All right. Hey.
Well, that's my contribution. To the episode.
I was walking
I'll see y'all later. Thank y'all for coming.
Doing the thing that I love to do more than anything else in the entire world. Go inside of Newberry Comics and go to the children's section. Because for some reason, I was not informed of this, but apparently Western comics are, like, fantastic and cool looking, says the person who's never bought any of them. Because I go to the kids section, and I just see covers that look like this, and I'm gonna post them in the show notes for you to look at. And I think to myself, what? Huh? This is, like, allowed?
This is not my
in the
beautiful
goddamn
comic.
Gross Discussing audio link so that we don't have to copy it over afterwards.
I literally did, you fucking dumbass. It's in Gross Discussion audio links.
Oh, you're right. I'm wrong. Okay, never mind.
Hey, Nate, kill yourself. Anyway.
That's fair.
So it's things like
is this a Western comic?
Yes.
Okay.
But it's a children's comic.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. What's with the author is named Atelier Sento.
Atelier Sento?
That's not a real name.
Is he the star of one of the Atelier games?
Is he Atelier Heidi's brother?
I have no idea.
But the first name is what connects them.
But this looks so intriguing.
Well, it's Japanese, so yeah.
But this looks so intriguing art style-wise and subject matter-wise. Look at that girl. Look at how she has no pupils.
I like the cover.
That's the thing that I like. I like when characters don't have pupils. That's what I
like that
do.
mushroom cut. I had a mushroom cut when I was young.
I find this almost as confusing as Ben's picture of the giant tits.
What? How?
I just don't see anything unique or appealing about it.
Nah.
I think it looks nice. It doesn't make me want to read it.
You know what? Maybe this is a man or a woman, I don't know, who's like Japanese by origin, because it's called Diary of a Yokai Ghost Hunter. That is a Japanese
his name is Sento. That's a Japanese name.
His name's Sento. So he's either Japanese or like descendant of Japanese people or something.
Well,
which
the reason I'm sure that you're right, Digi. That
Atelier Sento has to be the name of a group, right? Because it's a children's book. They're usually groups.
If I had the media prowess that you did, I probably would not find this interesting. But the fact of the matter is that I have been pretty stunted media growth-wise, and I have not watched or consumed shows or comics basically like almost ever, like consistently throughout my life. I basically have grown up on video games that I have like 3 of them.
I was about to post that link, Nate.
Constantly.
God damn it.
What?
So is it a collective or is it
it's
two French
duo
guys, yeah.
Inspired by their travels in Japan, apparently. So there you go.
Their website, actually, the artwork that shows up when you click on it is
I like it a lot.
Cool.
It looks great.
So when I see stuff like this, I think to myself, wow, I legitimately haven't really seen much things that look like this. And so I open it up, and it's just a really nice experience, and it makes me think about things that I've talked about many times on RFCK in the past, where I just feel, again, stifled media-wise, in the sense that I feel like I don't make enough time for myself to actually watch shows, which may seem weird to, maybe other people, maybe any of you guys, but I really just don't do it. And so I made a pact to myself. I didn't buy this book, obviously, because why would I fucking buy things?
Real quick,
by next
Munchie,
episode, I will have read the entirety of this book. So this is the new thing, Munchie Book Club, one comic at a time. I'm actually doing media for reals this time.
These Atelier Sento guys also make games in this art style.
Hell yeah.
Really?
Hell yeah.
They make like mobile games. Here, I'll put a link to their blog.
Oh, that's cool.
Like mobile adventure games in that art style. It looks pretty cool.
Sounds sick as hell, and I'm really excited.
Are they like a husband and wife duo, or are they like two dudes?
They seem to be a man and a woman, but I don't know their relationship. I don't know.
I see a picture of a woman holding a tablet playing one of these games, and I wonder if she's one of them.
I'll be one of you.
Oh, they have a YouTube channel too.
Well, we have now officially deep dived this fucking random
long and the short
children's book that Munchie was interested in.
It looks nice.
Yeah, this is a good example of like good art plus art can be good and as well as being good.
I just want to say this is exactly the way that I consume things, by the way, is that like I see something, I look it up, and I find everything that person's ever done, and then just systematically consume it all. And like that's what I was trying to get at earlier. Like it's always about the artist. It's like, oh, this person did something that I'm interested in at all. Let me consume everything they've ever done because it's all going to interest me. And I think that's a good, just a piece of advice. If anybody, you have trouble finding things that you enjoy, consider looking into the people who've created the things that you've enjoyed previously, and they've probably made other things you enjoy.
If only I had any respect for weeaboos, I might be able to appreciate this.
Ben,
alas.
I know that you've resonated with me on the not watching media front. You should fucking watch a movie or something, dude. Come on this journey with me. Be a media meister. Be a media muncher.
I do need to consume more media.
It's such a weird thing to say, right? It's such like a weird, like, on this show being like, oh, I don't watch shows. But, like, it's true. It's like, actually true in real life.
The funny thing about you saying this, Munchie, is that I also don't consume nearly enough media. I just have the appearance of doing so because I research shit all the time. Like, the amount of stuff I actually consume is nowhere near the amount that I, like, watch analysis videos of or just like
learn about. I do
and...
too much of that. I do too much of just listening to some guy on YouTube explain things to me.
Completely agree.
Without actually seeing
I think
it.
also the reason a lot of people have ended up looking at YouTube like reviews and analysis of things is because there's so much media out there that you're like, geez, I don't want to be stuck watching or reading the wrong thing, and you go to you like somebody to compartmentalize all of the different things and tell you which one's the best game of the year.
Well,
or whatever.
I don't even like it for that reason. I like it because I don't have to consume any of it except for the things that I tend to be interested in are almost never some kind of big blockbuster thing. It's never going to be something that even will get covered by YouTubers because they would get no views. So, it gives me the opportunity that I can go fuck off and play my stupid, weird indie games that I like, and then I can still be a part of the conversation about what's happening in the mainstream because other people are doing the job for them. So, I could literally sit here and have a full-fledged conversation with any of you about the latest Avengers movie, not having seen any Marvel movies in 10 years, because I've listened to so many podcasts that describe the plot in depth that I have, and I would have hated the movie. I could tell by the way it's described, but listening to Jesse talk about it or listening to Red Letter Media talk about it is enjoyable because I like those guys. So it's it's a better way to consume it for me.
Non sequitur right now. I'm imagining right now an alternate reality where Jape was a video game released for the Game Boy, and I'm imagining the mid-2000s commercial for that Game Boy game, and about how I can imagine some 2000s teenagers going near a pumpkin patch and being like, better not stay out here at night, ... and then one of the pumpkins grows eyes and then pump chunks out, and then it flashes, it does an eye catch for a couple levels, and then it's Nintendo at the end. Anyway, I just thought you guys would like to know that.
Make it real.
Right,
that sounds pretty good.
That's the end of the podcast, everyone.
If you didn't know, by the way, viewers who haven't yet read Bale Jape, there is a video game inside the comic called Run Away from Snakes, which is a 3D.
It's crazy.
3D endless runner where you run away from snakes. I got my brother to make a NewGrounds account, and he has uploaded it to there. Just the endless mode. Mm-hmm. So that will hopefully get a lot of traction because Tom
the high
was saying,
score. Who's winning?
Ever since Tom got front paged with Azumi, I've been meaning to try to put the champion game up there. I don't think it would do as well because it's not a side-scrolling platformer. It's not a it's more of a narrative experience. So I wouldn't expect it to do as well just on that basis. But still, it'd be cool.
There's a champion game. I didn't hear about this.
It's page 1 technically, right?
It is it is sort of a prequel story to the first chapter. And when you go to stcomics.com, it is the landing page.
Well, I've been there in a little bit.
Yeah, you play as the champion. What's her name? Sophia. And you are in the arena.
It is sort of a JRPG like Final Fantasy VI kind of thing.
Gross.
Yeah.
Well, you
it's
definitely
there
didn't
it is.
advertise this enough.
Gross.
Did I not advertise it enough?
I guess not. If people failed to hear about it, then I suppose the answer is yes.
If you're listening to this on Friday, maybe you should head over to stcomics.com, check out that game, and then check out the 2 new Vaporettes that are up at the end of the Vapor section. The first one by Emily Ree, and the second one by Lauren Colt.
Just one more week. Just one more week
Twitter.
until the Munchie Vaporette. Just one more week.
Next week Munchie's Vaporette will be up too. Which is by far the longest.
And by far the bestest.
Far longer than it needed to be.
Now, I'm going to break down why we all continually fail at this. Why we're all still marketing wrong. Because the Vapors, there's a good chance a lot of people listening to this don't even know what the fuck it is. So, full bore, go back, explain. What is the Vapors?
It's a comic that I made.
So if you go to saintcomics.com, there's a bunch of comics that Ben's written. He wrote 2 chapters of the Vapors, chapter 3 being written on the Patreon, released page for page.
It's being released page by page on the Patreon. It will be up it will be done in 2 weeks from when you hear this.
And a Vaporette is a 1-page short starring the characters.
It's a short story with guest art.
Yes.
With a guest artist is what a Vaporette is. There was one by Phenylketonurix, one by Emily Ree, one by Lauren Colt, and one by Munchie.
Yeah!
And there's gonna be a bunch more that come out with chapter 3.
And it's a story about a couple of deeply neurotic
college
autistic
students.
college kids, I guess.
Maybe autistic, maybe undiagnosed. Maybe they just
maybe
not.
They
just have
maybe not.
Maybe they're just
Oh my
personally
god!
fucked up.
I just remembered the most
What?
important thing I had to describe talk about on this show.
Yeah,
Please
okay.
tell me you guys heard about they found the cure for autism.
What?
Whoa!
Was it Bang? Was it Bang Energy?
No, did you? No, it's way more insane than Bang Energy.
Did you? I saw a little bit of this. Was this a joke?
Do you just
What's
have to
the
get
It's
deal?
punched
not a
really
joke.
hard?
The cure for autism,
Let's-
unironically, literally,
Okay.
is eating normies' shit.
What? How can this be?
Because-
please tell me. How?
Let's hear more
Because
about that.
what they have
please.
discovered is that
Yeah.
autism is linked to gut bacteria and a lack of certain types of
What?
gut bacteria. Apparently, our
What?
apparently a lot of intestinal bacterias and shit have a lot to do with how our minds work. And
Okay.
there's a certain gut bacteria that if you are lacking it, then you will I can't read this. You will have autism, and you can get it by ingesting feces from neurotypical people.
Right.
Now,
This
surely,
sounds like an epic
And
prank.
it has
just getting
worked.
autistic people to
No,
eat shit.
there was a full bore study where they fed normal people feces to children
No.
over the
This
course.
has to be a joke.
It's not a fucking joke.
why would they not extract the important element from the feces
Well,
if this is the only way to get it?
They made it into a pill. They didn't like feed them shit.
Okay. All right,
Yeah,
better,
I'm sure.
better.
Yeah.
They
Improved.
made like a fecal metal pill. There's other stuff. You can find the fucking article. I retweeted it from May.
Can we get a link? I mean, in the show notes or something?
Hopefully.
Okay, we'll
But
get it later.
I mean,
We'll get it
I
later.
have heard that
Oblivion
there
will find
are
it.
procedures wherein you literally transplant feces from one person's intestines to another, like to get the good
they
gut
ingested it
bacteria.
orally in this particular experiment. But if you just look up, I don't know what to look up, but you can find this. It's
We'll
being
find
reported
something.
on. It's a study that was done on a bunch of autistic children, all of whom showed fewer symptoms of autism after about 18 months
Fewer,
of going
okay.
through this course. 8 of them were so much less autistic that they were no longer considered to even be on the spectrum by the end of the treatment.
So wait,
they are
so is this
considered
something- is this something
neurotypical
you-
now.
Is this something you have to do to a kid when they're young, like and still developing, or like would an
don't know.
autistic adult become less autistic?
I
if they
haven't
got this
seen
gut
anything
bacteria?
other than just
Hey.
the study that was done.
Hey, where the shit at?
Yeah.
Where
I need
the
that
Can I
shit
just
shit.
ask what
Who
I
out
need
here
that
trying to
shit.
eat? Who out here trying to eat shit?
please correct me. Is autism defined as simply a set of behaviors? Is that what
that
it is?
seems to be the
Yeah.
case. I don't
Okay,
think there's any
okay.
other clearer
We
definition
don't.
than that.
We don't understand the like underlying physiological cause of it.
Apparently, though, it's tied to gut bacteria. And
Okay,
you
know,
can cure it by eating normie shit!
I'm prepared to entertain that this is true. I kind of need more data before I'm going to be fully on board with this.
Go read some shit, dude.
okay.
Go look it up.
No.
I read an
won't
article on
read-
The Economist about it.
On The
On the
Economist. okay.
Economist.
Yes.
What I'd rather do
Amazing.
instead is just I'll give these people, like 10 years. Like go fix autism and report back when it's done. I mean, this is what I'm going to do. I'm not going to read anything.
I
But
mean,
encourage
It's
other
not
sure
going
people
to
this
be
is
10
not-
years. It's going to be a year.
Well, great.
This is
Then they'll be able to do it
breaking
within
news.
10 years.
Well, I
No
mean,
problem.
I'm sure this is not the cure, and like, oh, this is it. All that other stuff, irrelevant. It's just the poop. It's just about poop. That's all it ever was from the beginning. Like, it can't be that simple,
can't
right?
be right.
I'm still in shock. Mostly because my diet apparently isn't working and I'm still not fixed. I mean, I was doing this before anyone else and it's just not fucking working. What am I doing wrong?
Maybe
the people's shit you're eating is not normies.
Yeah, they're not
hang on,
normie
hang
enough.
on. Surely, the not the only way to get the good gut bacteria is specifically eating it from normie's poop. Like, is this just a dietary
so
problem?
Uncomfortable saying it. Embrace it, Nate. This is the way of the future.
I really don't feel that uncomfortable, but it's like I'm just wrapping my mind around. It's like, surely, like,
I don't
is this
know
just
why
something
they
we
did
can
the
fix with
experiment the way
diet?
they did it. Like, all I have is the data of what was done. They fed fecal matter to children for 18 months.
We're overanalyzing and making it
12 of them,
unfun.
8 of them were fully cured of autism.
Look, the reason I'm giving such resistance here is because I don't want a lot of people camped out around my toilet and my septic tank eating my normie neurotypical
No one would
poop.
come to your
Does this mean that if you eat autistic shit, you will become more autistic?
I hope so.
Probably, right?
Well, see, what I'm thinking is
start a fucking
this
war,
is going
a sewer war.
what this is going to lead to is you can customize your own neurosis. Like, you can have whatever brain type you want. Like, you could, like, it's all slime. You can make it go from one to the other, right? So, like, you could just have add or remove gut bacteria if you need to be more or less autistic for your job.
It's like,
you want to,
maybe
like Einstein,
you really
right?
like
a little bit autistic.
Maybe if you like being autistic, like, avoid normie bathrooms because you don't want to get infected with that normie gut bacteria. It's like how you shouldn't hang out with cats because they'll give you brain parasites that make you love cats more.
Right.
It's the same with normies. They'll give you fucking gut parasites that will make you a normie. Don't let them get you.
And some people, fuck it. I bet Nikola Tesla probably would have upped his. I mean, he was probably at max level autism already. But like, if you could increase it for more like autistic focus on your work, might help some people. It's not all negative. There's some benefits.
Yeah,
I gotta eat shit so I can be Mozart.
Nikola Tesla, totally autistic, and that guy never ate shit in his life. Coincidence?
Imagine if he had. How far we'd be ahead in future right now. The kind of tech we'd have.
Boy,
I think the eating shit aspect should be utilized
that one
as
was
a marketing
doozy.
strategy.
It definitely took me a couple days to fully internalize it, but now that I'm
you know
here,
what this means, guys? The Patreon, close that shit down. We can just sell our shit for fucking money now, so we can give it out to the cyberpunks. Selling shit to cyberpunks is gonna make up like 80% of our business now.
Okay. Are we just assuming that, like, if you eat anybody's shit, you just become whatever they are? Like, so if you want to be a better, like, anime analyst, go eat my shit?
Yes.
All right.
I think
it's
we
like a
can
power
extrapolate all kinds of unproven hearsay from this finding.
And you know what?
We can make all kinds of shit-based claims now.
We can send poop-based like care packages to people who we want to be tweaked one way or another. Just send them like I don't know, who could use a dose of more Ben. I don't. People say that me and Ben are like two diametrically opposed. What if Ben and I swapped shit and we kind of evened out?
We become.
The
become
phrase
happy medium somewhere. I don't know.
The phrase "you're full of shit" is going to mean something completely different like 5 years.
Okay. You sign up to a subscription-based service where they have like celebrities that each contribute shit, and you can like custom formulate a pill. It's like, I want to be successful. I want to be a successful capitalist. So like, give me a pill once a day.
Give me that Musk shit.
40% Elon Musk, 20% Jordan Peterson, maybe a dash of Steve Jobs. That's
Joe Rogan in there. So you're still like
they extract Steve Jobs shit from his corpse.
There's going to be Ben Saint shit flavored vapes in the near future, and you can get it if you subscribe to Loot Shit, my new box-based shit subscription service.
Dude,
comes with randomized shit.
Normie shit should be a flavor of fuck energy. Dude, in my Discord last night, we were all throwing out like ideas for fuck energy flavors. I'm a fan of water flavor. Just urine.
How long is it gonna be before I can get over the counter Jankum?
Soon.
Oh, man, well that's a whole
legalize it, dude.
I want to start. I legitimately would be so excited to start like a garage like drink canning business and just like put it in like local like vending machines.
Fuck energy drink.
Fuck energy.
The competition. This is like an amazing market because.
Yeah,
like
it is.
Yeah, because everybody, I mean, anybody who can prove the value of their shit can sell their shit in this marketplace we're describing. Like, if all you have to do is market yourself as somebody with desirable shit. So like the competition is endless. Like nobody can just make the best shit.
That's true.
Everybody's gonna have somebody else whose shit they want.
Their own strand of shit that they enjoy the most.
The Japanese, as always, so far ahead. You can buy sexy girl shit in vending machines, in little capsules. I'm sure. I don't know this, but I know that.
For those who wish to be the little girl, they got you covered.
Gonna be so much easier. I'm just gonna eat girl shit.
I know some guys who've been trying that for years, and it hasn't had much effect. But maybe with a higher concentration.
What have we
solved
learned?
it? We solved every problem.
Eat shit, get fuck. Energy, that is.
I think that's all for this episode.
Yeah, I think we've pretty much run the gamut.
Mosey on over the voicemails.
Move on to voicemails now.
This was great. This was great and breezy. I didn't even get to like half the things I want to talk about. That's how you know it's a good episode.
That's how it should be.
I like how good things.
Munchie's like rushing us to the end and then saying he has more to say.
Well, I could go on, but these things always go on for like 200 hours. And also, I want to go to Ben's later.
I mean, I really think that we should, as we're recording these, we should reach a point where we say to ourselves, you know what, we've literally done enough. Like, we can just pick it up next week. Like, there's no need to, jam stuff in where it doesn't need to be. Because, I don't know. That's how I feel anyway. Around this time,
it's better to leave on a high note than on a low note, even when there's more content in there.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. What is it? I heard somebody say something the other day. It was about why did someone famous retire before they like their career totally bottomed out? And I think it was on Joe Rogan. It was some comedian or something. And it was just because you want to retire with something left in the tank, because you want to use that gas you got left to start your next thing. And I think topics on episodes, I think that applies to that reasonably successfully.
It's not like these things go away.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, if there's something topical that has to be discussed that week, that should be the first thing you discuss anyway. So,
I wish I had been more on top of the fucking eating normie shit thing, but I guess...
It's all right. That was a strong finish, though.
All right, well, then let's get to the fucking voicemails.
Yeah, let's do it.
Read Bale Jape. Read the Vapors. Click on
Vaporettes.
Listen to my albums. Nobody else is going to tell you to do it.
Contest.
Digi, that's true, Digi.
Kickstarter.
put them in the show notes. Tell fucking Oblivion.
Put a link to the World Over and the Unknown Tape and Fuck Off Mixtape.
Digi, let's give the people something real easy, Digi. If there was one project that your potential audio listener music people should go listen to, what's the one thing we should go listen to?
Oh, see...
I'm just saying, make it easy for us. Give us a tangible thing.
You know what? Because everybody's going to like a different one.
All right, Digi.
You gotta choose.
Next episode, I will have listened to The World Over, and we will discuss it. Be there next time.
That's it. The World Over. Listen to The World Over. There you go.
Right,
click that
cool.
link.
That's
your
official thing.
Also on next episode, I will have read the fucking Yokai Ghost Hunter bullshit. So tune in for that too. Read along with me. We're laying seeds right now here, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, and go to Gibbs' fucking PUMK Kickstarter and give him money for plushes. I want those to be real.
If anyone deserves it, literally lower your pledge to the PCP to donate to the PUMK
don't
plush.
do that. Earn more money. That's my counter-argument.
Let's hold the fucking phone here.
However, $40 for one? That's not a bad price.
It's about $40 plus shipping, which makes it around $50.
For a custom-made plushie, that doesn't sound unreasonable to me.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I think if any of you have not read the comic and you're thinking, I don't know about plush, there's plenty of time for you to read it and then become a fan enough that you will want to buy one.
That's true.
So, please consider it.
Indoctrinate yourself into buying it by reading the comic. All right, let's go to the voicemails. Yeah, here we go. Okay, now first of all, I don't know if this was a thing you guys did last week while I was away or something, but there's a guy who named his episode his thing voicemail theme contest. Is this a thing that started? Is this happening? No. Okay. Well, then forget that part because he also just called it PCP Hype Man. So we'll use this as our prerequisite to the voicemails for today. So take it away. Go.
All right, everybody, let's get ready for the PCP voicemails. When I say PC, you say P.
Oh no.
PC.
P.
PC.
P.
When I say voice, you say males. Voice.
Males.
Voice.
Mail!
I say patreon.com. You say /Benzane.
No.
Slash Digibro.
Bluey Baton.
Patreon.com.
Slash
Benzane.
I went to the bathroom, but I'm back.
Fucking voicemails.
It was the pep rally.
God
You
damn it,
know
I
what?
went
It
to the
didn't
bathroom.
work.
I went to the
It didn't
bathroom, and then I'm like, oh my god, he said Benzane. I gotta rush back and complete the challenge.
You made it in time for the second one, I think. Well, great. I'm spent. I'm tired. Okay, let's go on.
Time for bed, everybody.
So tired.
All right. First real voicemail. I think this is a follow-up to last week or something. It's called Am I a Furry? Okay, go.
Hello again, it's me, the one that Digi called
knew
a
it was
furry
you, girl.
last
I knew
time
it.
because he
Yeah.
said my voice sounded like a furry. So
Yes.
this is a complicated
True.
subject because I don't identify as a furry. Because my definition of a furry is someone who
You're a furry.
actually like identifies as an animal. Like
That's an
in
other.
my
no,
definition of
that's
what a furry
terrible.
is, it's like otherkin. Like but from what I understand,
You're
talking to other
Well,
people,
you're
You're
just
insane.
using
call me a furry.
definition.
Like
You're
people's
insane.
definitions of furry is different, and it appears to be a spectrum. So
Don't
I'm
run
curious
away
to know
from it.
You're
what your
insane.
definition
Embrace
of a
it.
furry is. Like I don't identify as an animal. Like it'd be
A
If
dog.
you
fucking
find
sweet to
that
be an
art
animal,
style
you know,
to
and
be
I,
in any way
you know,
appealing,
but
you're
I
a
don't
furry.
identify. I don't believe I myself am a furry because I don't want to get up in a fursuit and tell people I'm a dog because I understand I'm not. So what's your definition of a furry?
Well,
You're
and
insane.
what makes a furry and what does not make a furry?
Oh my
I'm
god,
curious.
it goes on forever.
sorry, I could have
Everyone's
cut that out, but
insane.
whatever.
Everyone's
If-
okay.
if you-
No,
if you
Digi, you're insane
witness-
too.
If you are
I don't-
capable of appreciating the furry art style, you're a furry.
No.
I mean, I can
No, okay.
appreciate
D-
it.
define furry art
there
style.
is no one.
You're not a
furry art
furry just
style.
because you're not a furry just because you like Disney's Robin Hood.
And I do. Let me tell
That's
you.
not the furry art style.
Okay, no, okay. Listen. Here's the argument, Ben. You've heard it before. If you're a furry, if you say you're a furry, if you honestly believe that you are a furry, it can mean whatever the
Okay,
fuck you want it
okay,
to mean.
I-
As long as you like
don't-
engage with the community and believe yourself to be one, then you are one. You
Okay,
don't.
okay,
Furries doesn't.
engage-
No,
no, stop.
No,
You're
furry doesn't
contradicting
mean that you
yourself.
have to be in a fursuit. Furry doesn't mean that you have to draw like other
True.
furries, and it doesn't mean that you have
True.
to be a fucking otherkin. It's literally its own
True.
word. What are you insane for thinking that means the same thing? No, furry just means if you think you're a furry.
Okay, but you just
But-
said a bunch of contradictory things. You said if you think you're a furry, then you are one, comma, if you engage with the community. Those do you have to engage with the community?
No,
to
but
be a furry?
I think it makes sense that if you engage with in the community, then you would be a furry. I think that.
What if
But
what
what
if
is
what if
the
it doesn't
community?
have to. What I said, you if you think of yourself as a furry, then you are one. That in
Let me
period.
let me
End
let me
of
move.
sentence.
Let me
End
kick the can. Let me kick the can down the road a little bit. Okay, so maybe we can agree that if you think you're a furry, then you're a furry. But what criteria would you use to decide whether you yourself are a furry?
I mean, it could depend on a lot of issues. I mean, it's different for every person whether or not you're a furry.
Okay,
Guys,
well,
why don't we-
that's
Doesn't mean
gay
anything.
and retarded. The
Why is
truth
it gay and retarded?
That if you think that art is appealing, you're a furry.
It's
in
not
my
that
opinion.
art. There's a ton of different art in the furry community.
that would include
There's not one
so
art
many
style.
people who
The
don't
art,
consider
I
themselves
think it's
furries.
not the quality or the design of the art. It is just like if there's if you could magically have two pieces of art that are equivalent in your mind as equally good, and one has a snout and one is a human, like one has a tail, like which one do you prefer? It's a preferential thing. It's not like quantifiable, really.
Now,
It's just like,
I
would you
don't-
rather see
okay.
like a
I don't-
anthropomorphized animals?
Okay,
I don't
instead
know
of
if
a
I would
human.
agree with I don't know if I would agree with the caller's claim that you have to consider yourself an animal.
No,
but I
not
think
at all.
You
Of course
could maybe
not. Of
I
course
think you
not.
could maybe make a case that you're not really a furry until you have a fursona.
No.
No,
I don't know if that's
There are plenty of
necessarily
furries
true.
that don't have personas.
Can we back up for a second and remember that what she asked is, what do you consider to be a furry? She didn't ask, what is the definition, which nobody can pin down at all. We're
Well,
all going to
guys,
have
let's-
our own
that's
meaning
what I
for
thott.
it. Of
Let's
course,
go
if
to
you
the
call
higher
yourself a
authority
furry-
here, guys. Urban Dictionary has an extensive definition of furry. Let me just read the
Okay.
sample of it.
Hold on.
Okay,
Wait.
okay.
Before you do, I just want to say that what I said was assuming that you at least, know what a furry is in, like, an abstract. Like, obviously, if you were just some random person and you just thought to yourself randomly, like you had a seizure and your brain thought a thought that had no meaning to it, I'm a furry now, and you had no concept of what a furry is.
Munchie, like,
I'm not saying that you are one now.
If somebody was like, well, I'm attracted to men, and I love sucking cock, but I'm not gay, because doesn't being gay mean you have to take it in the ass? I'd be like, no, you're still gay.
Yeah.
Like, that's what this call was like to me. It's like, hey, I like the things that furries like, just not this and this and this. And it's like, but I mean, if you like any of it, then that's not.
I think
typical.
As long as you're a fan of anthropomorphic animals and you consider yourself to be one, then you're a furry.
I guess. I mean, basically, we're down to the sorting hat problem of if you don't want to be one, I guess you aren't one, even if you exhibit all the signs.
Yes.
Well, Munchie, but what if you like the art, but you don't consider yourself to be one?
Well, then you aren't one.
Well, okay.
I guess, like,
I mean, if you love anime,
you don't have to believe that you are.
Are you like considered an animaniac?
You don't have to consider yourself to be something for other people to consider you to be it.
That's what I was gonna say. I would say that it is possible for someone to be a furry and not know that they are, but your definition precludes that possibility, Munchie.
Well, I mean, they would not consider themselves to be one. No.
I mean, the bottom line is
you don't think that a person can be a furry but not realize that they are.
Nobody can be a furry. Because there is no definition of it. It's only in the eye of the beholder. Like,
Urban Dictionary is pretty vague as well. Yeah.
It's up to you, your definition to say.
Therefore,
not up to the person. It's up to every single individual upon observation of a person to determine if that person's a furry in your mind. So,
I mean, I guess
that person can say they're not a furry. I can disagree with them about what they are. They can feel that they are more correct because they are themselves, but it will not change my opinion.
Sure,
we are seeking a robust and universal theory of furrydom here.
But it doesn't exist.
We're engaged in an intellectual exercise. It might not exist, but isn't it more about the journey? The real definition of furry is the friends we made along the way.
This reminds me of the label of brony, which I personally, so I had an OC. I mean, you could argue that it was like a joke, which it was. But I mean, it existed. I made videos about My Little Pony. Was
Are you about to tell me that you
heavily
don't consider
engaged.
yourself a brony?
I never once claimed or considered myself a brony, and still don't think I ever fit that label personally. But I'm sure many people would say that I have.
In hindsight, I think it's pretty clear that we were bronies, even if we did take it with a tongue-in-cheek sort of.
But see, I don't agree.
No.
You watched my videos for enjoyment.
Why would that make you a brony?
We watched the show.
That's
we
the
engaged
only
with the community
that I could even imagine. What other definition is there? You like
the
show.
We did everything bronies do.
Would you say that a little girl who watches the show and enjoys the show and then watches your videos is a brony?
Absolutely.
I think so, yeah.
Is there any way to watch your videos for enjoyment and not be a brony?
If you are watching my videos because you like the show and you like the videos because they're about the show, that is exhibiting fandom for the show, which is the fandom of the show is referred to as bronies.
I mean, you know what? I guess I feel kinship with this person that I feel maybe in my mind, the definition of brony had additional characteristics that maybe other people don't share.
Yes,
and maybe I'm just wrong about, but that's what I think.
This is the thing, because back in the ye old days when I had a Tumblr, there were certain people I followed who were not bronies, and brony things were like blowing up.
Yeah.
And people considered bronies to be rapists at the time.
Okay.
If you call yourself a brony, you are a rapist because you're and a pedophile, and it was all that sort of geez. So like to say, like, if somebody asks you, are you a brony? You're not just defining yourself by the show. You're labeling yourself in a way that allows people who have an idea of what that label is to judge you based on that idea of the label.
I'll say right now,
so, like,
I think
to not call yourself a brony is just to you could consider yourself a brony, but if you say publicly that you're a brony, people will think certain things. And if you don't do that, then that's just a choice.
I think it's stupid to label yourself at all. I think that
I
understand why people do it for a sense of community and being a part of something, but you're just giving everyone else the reins to interpret it as they see fit. And I would rather reject the labels. Like, if somebody wants to label me, they can believe whatever they want, but I am, I don't want to put a label on myself because I know that it means different things to different people. And
of course,
what am I going to explain what I mean every single time I talk to somebody? And a lot of them are just going to disagree with my definition. It's the problem. I call this the feminist problem because, like, everybody who calls himself a feminist has a different definition of what it means. And, like, they'll explain it to you and they'll say, well, if you fit this, and this characteristic, that means you're a feminist. But then the next person will say, well, I disagree. And I just go, how about we just don't call ourselves anything? Just have a set of beliefs and just be you who has that set of beliefs.
This desire to boil things down into a single word results inevitably in this problem. And so, you got to boil it back up or boil it down to the actual arguments that you're trying to make. And, man, it's fucking annoying.
When I see a furry, I become a fury. And I arch my back and I hiss and I get my claws out and ready to pounce on this beast.
I just really love insisting to people that they are furries because of the fact that people are so resistant to it. And, like, they're resistant to it, and they almost don't know why. They're like, well, surely
people don't like labels,
not...
Digi.
It's not just the lack of liking labels, it's that they want to believe that they are not so far gone when they are definitely a little far gone, Like, I make fun of May for this constantly because she was, like... She was had like a fursona Kit Fox when she was younger, and like she insists that she's not a furry.
But that's it, because warrior cats are just cats; they are not anthropomorphized.
Well,
so,
but she had anthropomorphized Kit Fox.
What do you mean they're not anthropomorphized? Like, physically, but they are given explicit personalities, names, and motivations.
I have never ever seen warrior cats or know what they look like. It has been explained to me that they
cats.
Look like normal cats.
Yeah, sure.
Now, I'm sure they have personalities.
You can anthropomorphize something in other ways that's not physical.
Oh, well, of course, but, like, is that what we mean when we say furry? Someone who looks like a literal cat?
It could be.
I mean, I don't think that's again, we fall under the label problem, because when you think furry, you think the furry art style, which this does not fall under.
The fun in it is just, it's just pushing people. It's just pushing up again. Like, it's funny to see, I guess, because of the fact that, I don't like to label myself, but, like, if other people want to call me something, it doesn't matter to me that much. And so it's really funny to me when people get so upset when you call them something. Like, it cracks me up to see how resistant people will be to being called something. And it's just like, dude, just embrace it. You like furry shit. Like, who cares? Like, it doesn't have to say anything about you.
I suppose, but I mean, weren't you just arguing that you hate labels? So, like, why wouldn't they also do the same thing and be like, nah, why box me in? Let me just like my thing and not label it.
It's not a matter of, it's like, you shouldn't care what somebody else is calling you. It's
but
like,
you kind of want them to accept the label that you're pushing on them, and you're laughing when they resist it.
I'm laughing because they care so much. I'm laughing because they're trying so hard to not be called something when it doesn't matter.
I get you. I also think it's unique, Digi, to furries in a way where it's like it's really like, I saw this a lot in bronies where it's like, dude, what? Bronies are not furries. What are you fucking talking about?
No,
Leave me alone.
When
it's like,
I guess this is what it boils down
I get
to.
you. But, like, it's clear you're really insecure about it.
It's that I don't consider it an insult to call someone a furry or a brony or whatever.
Sure,
it's like, I respect all these different things that people like. So when I see somebody who's, like, so resistant to being called that thing, it implies that you yourself don't respect that label. Like, you think, I don't want to be a fucking furry because those guys are weird. And it's like, but you're also weird, so shut the fuck up,
Digi,
That's why it's funny to me.
Hardcore resonate. Good job. Excellent.
Okay, well, hey.
Oh, wait, no. Wait, before going to the next voicemail, I just want to say that this person, first of all, I have no idea if you're a furry or not, because I don't really know, I mean, what do you think? It doesn't mean what you think it means. It's not otherkin. do you consider yourself a furry? Ask yourself that. But also, you brought this up by mentioning your voice, and now you have the furry voice, and about how furries have a voice. And this is 100% true. This is actually factual.
Thank God, my theory's been proven.
And this is the only requisite for being a furry is if you have the furry voice, the furry girl voice.
I'm not trying to shit on this person excessively much, but it's interesting that their defense for not being a furry is that they do not believe themselves to be an animal, which I don't really think is much of a defense against.
That's like an extremist view of what a furry is. Because a furry is not an otherkin.
Indeed.
We can all agree those two things are not identical.
I was watching a video that shall not be named. And...
Although actually, I think what she's thinking of is a therian, because an otherkin is someone who believes themselves to be like an angel or a demon.
I guess
and a therian is someone who has like an animal spirit and identifies as an animal.
We can give her credit that she clearly isn't a part of a furry community because she doesn't know these things. Because if you were to ask a furry if a furry is the same as an otherkin, they're gonna say no. There's tons of furries who are not.
I was watching a video and
they have separate stripes on the LGBT flag.
Therian might actually just be a subset of otherkin, so I might
personally.
By the way, extensive audio from a girl that had the furry voice, and it was extremely amusing. The furry voice, which can be broadly also categorized as internet girl, when you're a girl, when you're a fan artist, like a fangirl artist on the internet, you just stop aging. I'm convinced whenever you become really interested in something and you're on DeviantArt / or Tumblr, your brain and body just stop and you turn into a 13-year-old looking boy for the rest of your life, and you sound like it too. So you can be 7 years old, but if you liked Warrior Cats once, then you're going to look like you're 13 and sound like you're 13 and act like you're 13 forever. It's like a bizarre genetic disease transmitted through the internet, and I see it all the time where you have a vague lisp and you sort of stutter over your words and you just can't get the words out sometimes. Wait. I think I'm gonna have to reevaluate some things really soon.
Okay, all right, let's go on to our next fucking call here. We got a handful more. Okay, this one's from Chillin' Chocolate. Old call man. Let's see what he's got for us.
My life is fucking hell, and my fucking hell is my life. All right. You see, there's a girl I like from school, but there's only 1 month left before we graduate. Do I risk telling her how I feel, or do I just leave things unsaid? Do I try to go for a short-term relationship, have a nice time together, or with the most beautiful and intelligent and nice person I know, or
just fucking
also good at art,
or
do I just give up and shrivel? What do I do?
Okay, hang on.
You know what? Actually, giving up and shrivel sounds kind of nice too.
I liked a girl in my art class in my senior year, and I regretted for years not saying anything to her.
Okay, what is this man actually asking us right now?
Doing it.
Can you imagine?
He's gonna graduate.
Can you?
So
right, he's graduating in a month, and presumably he's going into college and will be separated. What he's really asking is, okay, look, I get the idea of wanting to get emotionally involved with someone who you will inevitably be separated from relatively shortly. Do I think this relationship is going to last very long if you get split up, over distance? Yeah. It's certainly not. But listen to the real question you're asking. You're asking is it worth putting in the effort to do a good thing now just because it won't literally last forever? You're just asking us for an excuse to not put in the effort to do something you already want to do. Yeah. And you fucking pussy. You should have already asked her months and years ago. Obviously you've wanted to for a long time. Fucking do it.
Even if even if you get emotionally invested and you get heartbroken, at least you might get some
life experience, a starter bitch. Get your starter bitch out of the way, dude.
I mean, look, heartbreak is gonna come. It's gonna happen.
Right.
Even if you had a relationship that lasted, she's gonna fucking die on you one day, man. And then you're gonna have 60 years of engagement. These bitches just be dying
on us out here.
I mean, at the very if you're really shrivelly, oh, I can't possibly do it. Just write it on a piece of paper, I like you, haha, and then give it to her, say hello, please read this, and then she takes it, and then you run away screaming, because At least then you'll have done something.
Think about the other thing that he brought up.
It's
funny.
I guess it's better to do it in a horribly embarrassing way than not at all. Sure.
Think about the way that he frames this, though. He's like, oh my God, do I want to make it awkward for the last month among these 9 people? Think about dude, the stakes have literally never been lower. You're about to all split up anyway. So why? What is your reasoning that now is a bad time to do it?
It's like the whole school is going to be upset. It's 9 people and you're graduating in a month.
Okay, why would it even be awkward? You asked her out, she said no. Who gives a shit? This transaction happens a million times a day in your school, I'm sure.
These things are awkward, especially for people who haven't done it much. Okay, but you got to get over that, dude. And now's your time to get over it. I mean, okay, maybe you love her, you think she's your special some pony. I get it, my dude. But there's no reason not to start now. And I mean, just take it a step further to a place nobody wants to go. I do think that the whole thing of forming relationships and having them tragically end and feeling devastated by them emotionally, I think it's ultimately good for you anyway.
Yep.
And I really think you should just get that shit out of the way in your life so that you can move on. And frankly, talk about a clean slate. If you're going to college or whatever and getting split up, then there's not going to be I was weird, dude. I broke up with my girlfriend in college, and my senior year, she was around, and let me tell you, I made it awkward. But the good news with you is you don't have to do that. You're going to be free, and you will stop giving. Here's a black pill on relationships. The second that you have a fleeting glimmer with a girl past the girl that you just broke up with, okay, you have this month-long relationship, 3-month-long relationship until you leave. You're all sad. Boo-hoo, I broke up with the girl. Your mammalian mating instincts will make you not give a fuck. As soon as you meet some sweet young thang at your college or whatever, and she's interested, you will no longer give a shit that girl broke up with you and you've got a new girl, because that's just how human beings work. So there you go. So do it. Yep. Why? Literally, listen to this message. Call her immediately. You have no excuse. Make her laugh in some funny way and say, haha, wouldn't it be so funny if we watched some piece of shit movie together? Haha, epic joke. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Make up an excuse.
Okay. People have come to the PCP with girl advice before, which first of all, lol. But this one has this is evolved in a way where it's this one was really not good. This one was I'm so
I wanted
stupid.
To yell at
it was
man.
weirdly self-deprecating in a way, and frankly, I'm not into it, and I hate you.
No, I get where this guy is at. I think the fact that he called in,
he was a little tongue-in-cheek. I get that.
Honestly,
let's talk about Ben's Tinder profile.
I think that he maybe will actually get the push from this. I think maybe he was, you were saying, he's looking for an excuse not to, but I don't think he possibly could have thought we were going to answer differently than we did.
I agree. I agree with you.
How many voicemails left? I have to piss.
We got 4. If you want to go piss,
I'm going to go piss.
Let's move on. We've answered
all right.
this
We've definitely addressed this. Okay, this one's from I think it's pronounced I'll Die Corp voicemail bot.
Sure.
I'll die. Yeah. Okay. So let's play it. Go.
Booting up. I'll Die Corporation voicemail bot.
Cool.
Text-to-speech AI here to tell you that procreation is immoral. Being brought into existence may allow you to experience good things, but it also makes you vulnerable to inevitable suffering. You cannot consent to being born. This is trivial to point out, but I fail to see how that makes it any better. The only justification for birth is that humans must continue to exist to create a weird utilitarian utopia. Still, in a world where millions of children are in need of adoption to be saved from shitty lives, what moral justification have you for leaving them in the shit and making a new person who may not ultimately want to exist to have a good life in their stead?
Shutting down. I'll Die Corporation voicemail bot.
Another one of these fucking unbirthers. Another one of these procreation is immoral people.
No, dude, just adopt. Just adopt. And then when there are no more kids to adopt, then you make another batch of them.
Well, okay, on this argument, I take sole responsibility when it comes to procreation for the specific children that I will be producing, which I will be producing at some point, I don't know, not too far from now. Within 10 years, I assume. So when it comes to those children, yeah, I accept full moral responsibility for producing them and putting them on the earth and them having to deal with like struggles and whatnot. But I mean, I look, you could even argue that most of life is suffering. However, looking at my life, for example, I think that the joys I have experienced, which might not even outweigh the sorrows, are good enough that I'm glad that I lived. That's how I feel.
The question is, why make a new person without their consent versus, adopt an existing person who already exists regardless of consent?
Did they bring up adoption?
No, I did.
Yes. Yeah. It was explicit.
I have an answer for that from me personally, which is that there's a lot of things that are already going to be going on with that kid by the time you get a hold of them. And like I think that's fine. Like there's a lot of people who and maybe even for me it would be good to take in a kid like that.
Are you saying there's not going to be a lot of shit going on with your kid, Digi?
Well, it's more of a
blank
blank
slate.
slate.
There's not going to be a lot going on with that.
No, what I mean to say is that all of the programming will be done by me from the start.
No, wrong.
Well,
he will come. He or she will come with a brain that you did not design.
But it's a brain that came from the genetic code of me and May. So like. I know.
And you get it at ground zero.
I don't know how much that's really worth.
I think it's
analysis.
worth a lot of my ability to relate
really
to. Like, I think that if I have a kid that's mine, like they're going to be a lot more similar to me. There's going to be a lot more ease in me being able to work with it.
Maybe.
I think, I mean, again, not to say that I couldn't maybe find like the perfect kid in an orphanage somewhere, but like for the most part, the kids who are up for adoption are probably going to be from pretty shitty backgrounds, and it's a lot of it's going to be rehabilitation, and that's still
like a lot of work.
It's fine. I think if somebody's really serious about that as like. What they're trying to do as a parent is to just like make society better by creating a human functioning as well as that's probably the best way to go for it. Like for me, having a kid, there's obviously an element of ego and like wanting to create one that's as close to what I'm hoping to accomplish as possible, if that makes sense.
I gotcha. I gotcha.
It's kind of like getting a Pokemon at level 1 and training it up versus getting the same Pokemon at level 23.
Your bio kid is going to have better EVs, is what you're saying.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Now I get it.
Let me boil this down to one
sense.
phrase, and it's that I care more about my shit than your shit, and I make no apology for it. And this applies on a genetic level. I just, like Digi was saying, vanity is definitely a part of it, but also it's the fact that I plan on really optimizing my child rearing. And I mean that by like being as good a dad as possible. And like pragmatically speaking, even if I get a kid born 1 day old, I think there's a couple issues of like, I don't know how much will be done to that kid before I get him. They're probably going to have had some shit done to him already.
Well,
and I'm really looking to optimize my kid experience. And
it's simple. You can undo all that. You just put them through unbirthing therapy.
I'll also
fair.
say
Well,
this.
Look,
I'm proud of my genes. I think my family.
I like my genes too.
My family's pretty long lived. I'm pretty smart of a guy. May comes from a really tall family, and she's tall for a girl. So like, we'll probably have some pretty tall kids. Probably taller than me. So that's cool. It's a good. I think it's a good combination of genes, and I'm excited to see if I can create something better than myself.
What a weird way to think about it.
I mean,
what a weird way to approach the issue.
Isn't that just the completely normal way to approach it that everyone has for all of human history?
It's the unconsciously normal way, because like the only reason we like certain looks, or like, oh, this person looks good, this person looks healthy, or whatever, they're muscular. That is all because they have good genes, therefore our kids will be good.
Humans are tribal, man. I want my kids to generally look like me, I just think that's a normal thing to want.
If I thought that like my genes were really bad or dangerous, I would be a lot more hesitant to. I would probably want to adopt instead. Like I would think, okay, let me find a kid who needs a home. But like if I feel like my offspring will benefit the human species you know, it's very egotistical to think, but it's like, I don't know, I feel some level of confidence in my genealogy's deservedness to continue.
Okay, but like,
it's
having...
It's the same way as like the people who had Hitler's genes said they'll never have children.
Well, not having shitty genes, like not having genes that will fuck a kid up, it's not like a rare thing. Like, lots of people have normal, functional, healthy
my genes, like, I don't know, let's just say that I had, I reproduced with, like, my current girlfriend, with Michelle or whatever. If I did that, like, there's potential that our particular combination of genes resulted in some, like, awful thing for the, like, it's always possible, you don't know. I'm just saying, I don't know, might not go that way, and I like familiarity, so I'm gonna go with kids that are my genetic kids. Just seems, like a logical way to go. Now, if to make it a larger argument, though, like, if this is the net benefit for the world, now, on that, I get that argument. That's fair to look into more, to, like, deal with kids who are in poverty, to maybe adopt. I'm not even opposed to adopting in general, but I'm not gonna lie. Selfishly, I just want some kids that have my genes. Because you know what? It's just, I think I got a pretty good brain going on here, and, like, my brain pattern's obviously largely shaped by genes, so it seems reasonable to pass on.
Here's what I mean, I get, but it's not your brain.
What do you mean?
I don't know. Like, it's not, like, yeah, maybe you'd have a kid with a great brain, so what? It's not your brain. It's someone else's brain.
Oh, well, Ben,
brain.
I think that's a fair question, but I think it ties into the, like, how is it that humans, like, what's the purpose of human existence? I mean, probably to exert our influence over the world in some way, and, like, they say that, reproduction is the kind of immortality that humans can obtain. So, like, I'm interested in propagating my genes to the future, if for no other reason than just the vanity of, like, I still kind of continue to exist in this one way. And, I could do that by, let's just say, being a teacher, and, like, instilling my values on kids. Okay, that's a great way to do it. I just think another way is also genetically. So I'm interested in doing that too, cover all my bases.
I definitely see that there is, like, an argument to be made for, like, your child will not necessarily be exactly how you want it to turn out, whether you rear them from your own genes or whether you adopt them. Mm-hmm. It could be that the person you adopt will love you exactly the same way and will be even a better person in the end. But you can't know that either way, and so in the decision-making process, selfishness is really the only thing that tips the scales.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I'm selfish in all other aspects of my life. Why not this one?
Yeah, I mean, if you're extremely moral, if you hold that higher than selfishness, then you could go either way. I think I wouldn't, like, besmirch anyone for choosing one or the other, really.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say, I don't think it's wrong to want to have your own kids. I do think that probably the ultimate moral thing to do is to adopt a kid that needs a family rather than produce a new one.
I get that.
Yeah, I'll say
that.
that.
I mean, and we also have to look at it this way. I mean, in an ideal system, I think we would have some way of saying, like, okay, we've measured your benefit to humanity. You should have kids, and you should not. You should adopt.
Yeah,
and there's only so many kids who need to be adopted. Someone still has to make babies. Like,
you want
true.
You want to know my hot take? This is my hottest take.
Okay.
And I think everyone will hate it.
Okay.
And no one will like me. I just think we should abolish families. I really think that society would be better without. Yeah, I think society would be better without them, and we wouldn't miss them when they were gone.
Well, I mean, look, to entertain that, so, like, how do people get raised then? What's the new model?
Well,
Brave New World.
Have fucking state barracks.
I got this great idea.
I don't know.
We should get these big furries called Lucises.
Literally, it would be cool. Well, I don't like. I don't know. I think the fact that trolls are all, like, birthed in batches and sort of raised as, like, a collective community is great. I think that's awesome. I think that would be so much cooler if it were like that. And
the trolls came out really great.
Well, they were fucked up because they were ruled by, like, a despot.
Yeah, the Alpha timeline was all right.
Yeah. People having families, they have, like, these, like, nationalistic allegiances. They have family allegiances. They have, like, racial allegiances. Honestly, we should just fucking obliterate the family unit, abolish culture. We won't miss it when it's gone. We'll have a new culture. All cultures die eventually. And if we just, like, we're like, fuck all these old cultures, we're having a new one that is, like, communal and is, like, shared and is not, like, family based.
And it's called Endless War.
We could we could keep the old stuff. Like, we could keep I don't know, Mexican salsa dancing. That doesn't have to go away. You know, all the cool stuff we like about culture doesn't have to go away just because we don't have, those cultures don't like actually exist anymore because we abolished the family and are all living in like a unified, like beautiful utopia where we're all brothers under, you know, whatever like anarcho-communist regime we've established.
Ben, you gotta write a book. You could be like the Ayn Rand of the authoritarian left or something.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't they already have that by the name of Karl Marx or something?
Okay, I don't know. I know I say all this stuff, and then I get nervous when I say it's like, wait, wouldn't we have to have like a really fucking totalitarian state to establish this?
Yeah,
and then I try and think about like, well, how could we do all this without that? And I'm sure there's a way to do that. I don't like the. I mean,
if you theoretically changed everyone's opinion so that they wanted to be in that system, I mean, I don't know how you do it, but if you did that, if you convinced people it was for the best,
I mean, the same way you would get just a regular communist society.
Nanomachines.
I just think families are bad.
Well, you know,
they're bad.
Even taking... Yeah, I guess that's a fair question.
Because we have a fucking fractured... Okay, well, this is... First of all, they fracture society. That's bad. You have family allegiances, nationalistic allegiances. That's bad.
I don't think allegiances
like, oh man, I sure love being a Finn,
but Ben,
and I hate those goddamn Swedes.
Just because you have we don't. Are you saying that you want this to be like a global thing? So
this ties into my thing about how I think inheritance should be illegal. Because it's like
illegal,
evil
you mean?
and unjust.
Illegal,
I said illegal.
And I know this. I know this has been brought up to you before, Ben. But I mean, you are. Yeah. I mean, you're going to inherit from our parents. So I mean, is that?
Yes. Oh God. Oh, I participate in. I criticize society, and yet I participate in it. What a fool.
I mean, what? Okay, but I mean, how would you, if you could have complete control, given the fact that you're going to inherit now? What system would you replace that with that you'd prefer?
Okay. Parents don't raise their kids.
Okay.
Parents don't raise their kids. No one inherits anything. Mm-hmm. Everyone gets UBI. There you go. Bam.
Okay, so you're saying forget inheritance. Instead, we'll do like a UBI system.
Forget inheritance. You don't inherit anything from your parents because you don't need anything because our society makes enough money to provide everyone with the necessities without having their parents make it for them and then give it to them.
You know, but I'll take your argument. I accept it as I try to accept it at its most reasonable position. Granting that all this can be done and that like human nature will like allow for it, I would still argue simply that I think that there's a good amount of utility in both like the familial structure and the nation state, and I have not yet been convinced that a better system is the one you described.
I think,
and that's right.
I think that we could replace the family structure and the nuclear family with a new, more egalitarian, more just society, and we would look back on late capitalism. We would look back on when we all lived in, and when we were all just raised by whatever fucking chucklefuck happened to give birth to us. What the fuck? We would look back on that and say, wow, what like barbaric backwards times we
I just
lived
don't
in.
feel like the state is particularly competent at these things. But okay, you know what? I get your point.
It could.
Maybe
okay,
one
what
day.
If it wasn't,
maybe
what
one
if it
day.
wasn't a state thing? What if it wasn't a state thing? What if it was just like a sort of like democratic, like community run process? What if it wasn't imposed from on high per se?
I would prefer that, certainly.
I mean, they already say it takes a village to raise a child. What if communities just got together and like established like community centers where kids were like, you know, raised from birth? I don't know. I like it.
I get you. I feel like inevitably there'd be some like kind of human nature things that we weren't programmed to deal with that we might.
We
have
already
issues
do
with.
that. Humans are programmed to do all kinds of horrible things that we don't let them do because they're fucked up and ruin everything.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Just like the family does, and just like inheritance does, and just like all this shit does that we do now, and one day we'll say, "Thank God we don't do that anymore."
Well,
that's what
I guess
my
we'll
hot
say.
take.
Fair enough.
Right.
Fair enough.
Yep. Okay. Sound off in the comments if you think I'm a fucking psychopath or what.
I mean,
guys, enough of this. Enough. Every single episode of the Pokemon anime is for free on like the Pokemon website. I've just found.
Is it Pokemon.com?
That you can just watch them all.
God, that's like thousands of episodes.
But not in Japanese,
the Pokemon Company International. No, it's not in Japanese. It's English. I'm just watching the first episode. It said. No, I just saw like somebody linked it, and it was like.
You know, I have never seen episode 2 of Pokemon, and I've always wanted to. Where
look, this got no views. Nobody knows about this.
Please
Spread the
put
word.
a link in the show notes. Okay, let's move on to our next call. We got I think like 3 more or something. Okay, here we go. So this is don't, I repeat, do not mine at night. Okay. Go. Is this Animal Crossing?
No, it's Minecraft. Retard.
Oh.
Such a boomer, Nate.
Is this
I didn't know
Rat Boy
GLaDOS
Genius?
played played Minecraft. GLaDOS from Portal 2. From Portal 1, in fact.
I think I understood the first, 3 words of that. Did anyone...
I could not make out... I literally could not make out a word of that.
Yeah,
Was that
Neither
Miku?
could I.
Who was that?
All right, thanks for
Miku?
putting
It was Rat Boy
the show,
Genius.
Nate. All right, next voicemail.
I thought that you guys
Yeah.
might be able to get meaning out of it that I couldn't figure out. Okay, all right.
Unfortunately, it didn't pan out
But I also
that way.
just thought it
didn't
sounded
pan
nice.
pizza out that way.
Oh.
It did sound nice.
Okay, so there's a
I
plus.
did enjoy it aesthetically. So
Okay, let's move on.
I'll give it that.
Oh, you know what? This one was actually directly from Mage, and since she's not here, I'm going to skip it. So, sorry, Ultraviolet.
Wait, why?
Well,
it's for Mage.
I mean, it was. You know what? I mean, I can play it. It's for Mage, but
maybe we could wait. Well, just play it. She won't
all right,
be here
fuck
for
it.
like 2
Here we
weeks,
go.
right?
Play. We can shit on her.
So, Mage, you claim to like purple, yeah. I think we're gonna have to see if that's really true. Now, you may have heard of this little wavelength called ultraviolet. That's right. Ultraviolet. Also known as purple 2. Now, normally purple 2 isn't visible to the human eye, but it turns out that that's actually because your eyes are betraying you. In fact, you can remove the lens from your eye, and suddenly you will be able to see purple 2. It's probably not safe for the eye.
What?
But you will still be able to see a new form of purple. So, tell me, Mage, is it worth it?
Is that
Will you
true?
destroy your eyes in the pursuit of purple?
I don't.
Is that
okay.
I
true?
await your answer.
Okay, I've never heard this thing about removing the lens, but I have heard that there are some people whose eye cones are sensitive to a slightly wider range. So some people can see somewhat into the ultraviolet spectrum, and apparently, according to them, it looks like, the drum roll please, a slightly white, pale, purplish color.
Sounds worth. Sounds worth.
Yeah.
Cool.
I don't know about this lens removal thing.
How could that be?
We'll run it.
Is it like the lens filters light in some particular way? So
maybe it blocks. Maybe it. I mean,
possible.
It wouldn't
I
be
guess.
crazy because ultraviolet light, if it's harmful to your eye, maybe your lens might have evolved to block some of it to protect you from it.
That's true.
It doesn't. Maybe. I've never heard that
Wow,
before.
I don't care. Let's listen to the next voicemail.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
You talk about don't care. We got a call here from Oopsie Bobo. Now, this man left a couple of messages. I forget what the deal was. I think this was for you, Munchie. Let's see what he has to say. Go.
I'm not going to like it then.
All right. So my dumbass fucked up, and I wasn't sure if the message quality was great, so I'm going to record this one again. Munchie, fuck you. This is a thread. This is not a voicemail. If you not let my fucking message go in, the one about the weed, I'll get a fucking horde of minions and we'll spam you with smoking the weed messages constantly, man. There's just nothing you can do about it. So fuck you. Time to go get drunk at Stratondijk и
Alright, so if I remember correctly, this guy called in last week and I didn't put his message in because it was really terrible. And so now he's mad at me for not putting in his message. So I just want to give a shout out to Oopsie Bobo. We're going to put this guy in the voice jail because you had the audacity to appear on the show and be a piece of shit. And you are not funny, and also you're from South America, and you have not followed on the promise that your forefathers gave you with the glorious history that you have betrayed. So good job, and you're going to the voice jail.
That's fair. I think his name's just Bobo, and Oopsie was the title, but yeah, okay, well, Bobo, there you go, buddy.
This is exactly
sorry about that.
why we need the wall.
All right, we got our last message
Panama
here.
Wall.
That's the one. Okay,
Just
Game
board up the
Board
canal.
Gaylord Part 3. Calling in. This is our final one. Okay, let's go immediately.
Captain Gaylord, if we don't see any results of this foolish war you've started, we will pull the plug to you and your crew. Don't worry, Admiral, as they say. This endeavor will pay off in spades. Steward Shitbag, what's the status of our latest missile? Ah, Cap, this just came in. I believe we hit him. Yes, we did it. We hit him. Don't celebrate just yet. They might hit us back.
We moved.
By golly, they missed. Yes.
Hooray.
Yes.
Wait, no.
We did it, boys. We finally got the upper hand. Lucky for us that we are celebrating a royalty-free music. Wink. Now, because the game mode is so small, we can't lose. Actually, the game is played on a 25-tile grid, with 11 of those tiles occupied by our battleships. The odds of hitting are probably so high, so that if you would be playing in a week per turn, it is a stupidly long game. Anyone with 2 brain cells could have figured that one out.
We did this to ourselves.
Yeah.
We have no one to blame ourselves.
I feel like I'm watching a new storyteller video.
D5.
What? Oh,
it's a hit.
I think.
He hit our destroyer.
You know what?
Oh, no.
You know what? You hit all of our submarines. They were all stacked on top of each other, like at different depths, and now we're dead.
Oh no, you won.
So good. I guess that's the end of the game.
Yep.
You
win. Hey guys, if you try and be Roll My Ass Batman 2, I want you guys to know that I personally hate you, and fucking please unironically kill yourself, like with a noose or a gun, any way humanly possible, end your own lives. And do
Oblivion.
not
Nobody can be Riddle My Ass Batman 2.
This episode's not getting monetized, that's for sure.
Oblivion, if you could try to make that audible in some way, that would be great.
Apparently Oblivion finds the original call audio and puts that in instead of the SoundCloud version or something. Oblivion
it's the
does
same
something.
fucking thing, but okay, if you can do that, great.
I don't know. He told me that he does some shit with the voicemails that just makes them better.
Well, okay, fantastic. That man is he's a god and a king. Okay, well anyway, that's the last thing we got to sit through on this fucking episode of the PCP.
You're free now.
You're free.
Wow,
we did it.
It was really great, and then some anarcho-communist shit came, and then the voicemails took 500 hours, and you know what? That's
only
fine.
because we talked about it. Specific questions for whatever.
Go read Bale, Jape, and pledge to the PUMK plushie Kickstarter.
And I just want to clarify that's all true. Do that. And if you left a message and it didn't get on, I want to confirm it's because it wasn't good enough. Because I was looking for good things, and there was a dirt.
you heard the quality of what we did end up accepting. So you were even worse than this.
Oh, imagine that. Imagine being in that position. Okay, anyway, patreon.com/theprocrastinators, people. We just made a new fucking bonus episode. It was Game of Thrones. Me, Tom, and Gib talked extensively about everything you could possibly want to know.
Are you mashing a burger meat or something? Like you making a patty over there?
Sorry, was that visible?
Tendy?
Sorry. Okay, so what I'm doing is I found a plastic bag of candy, and now I'm trying to puncture it with the sharp end of a pin, so I can get the candy out, so I can eat some delicious gummy drops.
Well, do that on your time. All right.
But it sounded instead like you were crushing a burger between your fingers.
At PUMK Crastinators on Twitter, people. Follow us there for links and whatnot. And give us money. $5 bonus episodes, $1 patron lounge. Have fun. Hang out with us. Be a cool guy. There you go. That's all you need to know. All right, that's it. We're out of here. We'll see you next week, people.
Check out the new Vaporettes up on stcomics.com right now.
All the goddamn links in the description. We all do a million things. We're all cool guys with cool shit.
Correct.
Yeah.
The Amapha 2 will be done by now. Go check out my shit. That's cool.
The candy's so good.
All right, I'll see you later, people. Have a beautiful night. Bye.
Beautiful time. Bye. I love you.
I'm supposed to be working right now. I'm supposed to